Yeah, this is case number 216 on the calendar in the matter of Geese versus Osborne. Geese. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Mr. Geese, this gentleman is your brother, is that
That's correct?
And the lady standing next to him is his girlfriend.
That's correct.
And I assume that you're her daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
You lived in New Orleans?
Yes, ma'am.
And the family were victims of Hurricane Katrina, according to your complaint. And there came a time when either you were asked or volunteered to help them take care of her daughter because they were rendered homeless by Katrina. You did. You sent plane tickets and you had expenses. And I believe that your brother and his girlfriend acknowledged that the money that you spent was well over $1,000. Would you agree with that?
No, ma'am.
Well, we'll see. In any event, you claim that after Marina went home, Miss Osborne and Mr. Geese, your brother, received a check from FEMA in the amount of some $26,000.
To my knowledge, that's correct.
What was the amount of the check you received?
We received a couple of different checks.
Well, give me each amount and what they were for.
For personal property loss, I received $9,500. Mr. Geese received a little over $10,000 for personal property loss.
How much did you receive, sir?
$10,040, I think.
Right about $10,000. Okay, so you received approximately $20,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else for living expenses?
We submitted receipts for rental reimbursements.
And?
We received them.
How
and
much?
We continued. Well, it came in lump sums of $2,000.
So how much did you receive in total?
Probably about 2 times $2,000, $4,000.
So $24,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else?
Various local agencies, churches were able to help us out in our journey to get to where we are today.
Good. And your brother?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me ask you this question, because you look like nice people, and I gather that this has created a rift in your family, which is unfortunate. Now, Miss Osborne, would you agree that any money that Mr. Geese spent on your daughter were necessaries for her?
Absolutely.
So my question, Miss Osborne, would you agree that you, Miss Osborne, are responsible for the necessaries for your child?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
That's what the law says.
Absolutely.
Good. So tell me, Mr. Geese, cutting to the chase, because I have other things to do. You volunteered to be of assistance during this time of crisis.
Yes and no. I was asked, and I agreed to it at that point, correct? Yes.
And how long did Marina stay with you?
She was with me a total of 10, 11 days, something like that.
And you, I assume, have receipts, sir, for all of the expenses that you believe you should be reimbursed for.
All except for one, Judge, because when the Katrina first happened, my mother actually called me and asked me if I can send them some money so that they can get their car fixed to get them down to Phoenix, where my younger brother was living, and she was actually there visiting with him at the time.
Okay. Well, if your mother asked you to do that, there's no agreement to pay him back. What I'm asking you is, we're talking in this case about the money that you laid out for Marina. Now, what bills do you have?
I have all the plane tickets and everything here. Plane tickets, receipts, school supplies. There's also several other expenses that I incurred that I'm not suing for.
Okay. Well, let's go through them. Plane ticket was $275.79.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
We paid him back for those airplane tickets, Your Honor.
Just a second. I know that you gave him a check for $500. Who takes allergy medication?
She needed allergy medication when she was there, yes, because we had a dog in the house, and it was very...
Is that right?
It was affecting her very badly when she got
I'm just
there.
checking over all of these things. Dog treats.
That's not supposed to be in there, ma'am.
I don't care. I mean, if you're giving me something, sir, then I'm
Yes.
supposed to be able to rely on it. We have $84 in for your school supplies.
Yes, ma'am. May I say something, Your Honor?
Yes.
When she was in Illinois, right after the flood, my brother had taken her to the FEMA tent where the Red Cross and other agencies were there to attend to their needs. A lot of the things that were bought considered school supplies I would never agreed with because...
I don't care whether you agreed with them or not. You weren't there.
No, you're right.
You weren't there. And then there was another plane ticket, is that right?
Correct. One way to
For
Las Vegas.
$129.
Correct.
Okay. Let me tell you this, sir. The only thing that I have not considered is this long laundry list of stuff, which is some yours and some hers.
Correct.
And I'm not going through them and separating it, you know. We're not talking about that. So you know what I get, Mr. Giese? $571.
Okay, but like I was telling you, Judge, I sent them $300. It was not even my choice.
Just a second. It's not. I don't care whether it was your choice or not, sir. It was not a loan made to your brother that you can sue for.
That was a loan made to my brother.
No, it wasn't, sir. It was something.
Absolutely.
No, Mr. Giese, you are incorrect. You said your mother called you and asked you to send money to your brother. They needed to get their car fixed.
Because she did not have the money to send to them
I understand
at
that.
time.
That does not create a loan, sir. That is actionable in court.
But-
do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
And
ma'am,
you
but-
don't even discuss that in your complaint.
But can I just say one more thing, Judge, please?
You sure can.
The reason for this entire lawsuit had nothing to do with the money, okay? I was in the middle of a separation with my wife in Virginia. I moved to Denver to be close to my family, to get the support that I needed from my family. My brother, in turn, stole one of my credit cards, charged up $1,650 in 8 days on this credit card.
Well, that's outrageous.
Yes, ma'am, it is. And
Well, Mr. Giese, that's outrageous.
Because
You would acknowledge that that's outrageous.
Because he stole this from me, Your Honor, okay? Then they agreed to pay me the entire thing back. They paid me $1,000 for the credit card expenses. Now, when I tried...
Did they give you the $1,000?
No, ma'am. My mother gave me the $1,000.
Under his instruction.
Oh,
My
listen.
mother
Came
gave
from
me...
me because we couldn't speak to each other at the time. We were
So you
arguing
gave, just
and
a second,
fighting.
so you gave your mother the $1,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right? That's right. Okay.
Well, when I asked her about it, I said, where did this come from? Because I did not want to take the money as long as it was from my mother.
Gotcha.
And she said, it doesn't matter as long as you get it.
Now I understand why you felt entitled to bring this lawsuit over a relatively small amount of money that was incurred during a period
about the
of
principle.
national tragedy because your brother stole from you. You were right.
He stole from me, and then after I filed this lawsuit, he called me up and threatened violence on me once again, as he always has, because he's an alcoholic.
Mr. Giese, I was just going to say to you, your brother drinks.
Way too much.
I can see that he drinks.
And I
I've
can
been in
show
this-
you the
listen,
credit card receipt
no,
that when he stole my
I've
card,
been in
the first three
business-
places he
listen
went
to
was
me.
the liquor store.
Listen to me. I've been in the business a very long time. You didn't need to tell me that he has a severe alcohol problem. He doesn't recognize the fact that people who are in the business of knowing whether somebody suffers from alcohol or other substance abuse can tell in a minute, Mr. Giese. And if your life is being destroyed because you're an alcoholic, I suggest you get some help for it.
And destroying everybody else's around
And
him.
I suggest, Miss Osborne, that it's wrong for you to allow your daughter to live in a household with an alcoholic. You put your daughter in a situation where she's living with an alcoholic, and that's unreasonable. Do we understand each other?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I see your mother is sitting over there. Are you annoyed with him?
Both of them.
That's not
Both of
correct.
them. Oh, you're annoyed with both of them. I would be annoyed with both of them, too. I don't get it.
And later today,
$2,500 on a $10,000 car?
Correct.
That was a very bad trade that you made.
My father was of no help at the time.
Should have asked for somebody for advice.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Daryl Giese claims his brother, Gene Giese, and fiancée Radapi Osborne owe for money loaned after Hurricane Katrina. The defendants claim Daryl was supposedly helping out in a time of need.
Okay. Right now, they owe you, according to Miss Osborne, who acknowledges, because this lawsuit is about the expenses for Marina, who acknowledges that if you laid out money for Marina, she is responsible for that because those are necessaries for her children, right? So I have legitimate expenses of $571, and you sent them $500.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I have. So you owe them $71. It's a shame that after all of this, a family clearly had gotten along well enough to be able to make a phone call and get some cash sent should have any issues with regard to money. And if your brother was nice enough to send you $300 because you needed it, you should have sent him back the money. That's your moral obligation.
Yes, ma'am.
Whether or not you had a contract with him or not.
I did give him a brand new living room set and a dining room set.
Listen to me. Unless you had an agreement with him that that living room set and the dining room set was in lieu of the $300, that's a gift. And what I'm telling you is, if he was nice enough, because I see your mother is sitting over there.
Yes, ma'am.
So she's probably annoyed with you. Would that be, are you annoyed with him?
Both of them.
That's not
Both of them.
correct.
Oh,
I did
both
not.
of them. You're annoyed with both of them. I would be.
I did not
Ms.
call
Giese, is that right? I would be annoyed with both of them too. I don't get it. Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $71. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step
Beautiful.
out. Wait right here, please.
All my brother does is take advantage of the people around him,
He's angry at the world right now, and I happen to be at the end of this hill.
and then he pushes them to the side
I'm a loving person, and I learn to forgive too.
or punches you in your face and puts you in the hospital.
I hope that he has a successful life.
He is not part of my family anymore.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hayes versus Hayes. Step forward, please.
24-year-old Brittany Hayes is suing her father, Jerome Hayes, for missed payments on a 96 Cadillac DeVille.
Ms. Hayes, this is your father.
Yes.
And your complaint is that several years ago, you purchased a car. It was for your dad. He didn't have sufficient credit, so you took out the loan. The agreement was that he would make the payments on the car. According to you, he stopped making the payments on the car. You took the car back, in effect repossessing the car, kept the car for a period of time, then traded it in for another car, which you put on your credit card. And you say that your father agreed to make those credit card payments for you.
Correct.
Your father said that's not what the agreement was. So that's what it's about. When was this car purchased?
February 27th of 2003. It was a 1996 Cadillac DeVille, a faux convertible top.
I don't care what it looked like, quite frankly. Nobody has it anymore. You don't have it, he doesn't have it, and I certainly don't have it. Okay, and when did you take the car back?
It was end of November of 2003, the same year.
So he didn't have the car very long. How much was the total cost that was financed?
$10,355.84.
That's what was financed.
Correct.
From February until November, did you make the payments on the car, sir?
Up until the October payment.
What happened in October?
I was in between jobs.
Had you told her that you couldn't make the car payment that month?
Yeah, and she screamed at me.
You said, I don't have the money to make the car payment.
Yeah, and she replied that I'm not going to make the payment. You need to get off your rear and go get you another job. I go, I'm in the process of going back to work. She took the car.
She took the car then, in
Yes.
November of 2003.
Yes.
Okay. What happened next, Mr. Hayes?
2 weeks after she took the car, I was back to work. I tried contacting her via cell phone. She never returned the phone call. Several months went by. I'd say about 4.5, 5 months later, she finally returned the phone call, stating that she didn't have the car anymore.
What did she do with it?
She traded it in for a Honda SUV because she said the Cadillac was a gas guzzler.
Okay. Now, was the car registered in your name or in your daughter's name?
Well, the problem was I had an out-of-state license, and that's why I went through her. I put $2,500 down cash on the car, gave her $200 to help me out. And the plan was for me to get it out of her name and put it in my name, which I had
So the car was
difficulties.
also titled in her name?
Yes.
And your father gave you the down payment of $2,500?
Correct.
What were the monthly payments on the car?
$298.34.
Okay, so let's make it easy for me because, you know, I'm math challenged. Let's make it $300 per month. Okay, so your father had the car 8 months. He had the car and made 8 months' worth of payments. Now, when you took the car back, was it your intention to sell it or was it your intention to use it?
I was unable to use it. I couldn't even afford the gas in that car.
Did you sell it or trade it?
I traded it into the dealership.
Well, that's a problem because you didn't trade it in for its maximum value if you traded it into a dealer. The dealer doesn't give you the same price as you would get if you sold it privately. You understand that? For my own curiosity, what did you get when you sold the car?
$2,500.
$2,500 on a $10,000 car?
Correct.
Well, I mean, that's ridiculous. The car was 9 months old. So I don't know where you were getting your advice from, but that was a very bad trade that you made.
I was under a time constraint. I didn't have the time.
It was a
to
very bad trade that you made,
I
Miss
was
Hayes.
21 years old at the time, Your Honor.
Well, then you
Impulsive.
should have asked for some advice, madam.
My father was of no help at the time.
Well, should have asked for somebody for advice. Now, when you spoke to your father about it, your father said what to you?
My father was very hard to contact throughout the time. I was getting frequent phone calls from the finance company notifying me of late payment, saying that I had not
I'm
made
not
the payment.
talking about history. Let's understand each other, Miss Hayes. I'm not talking about history. I'm talking about after you took the car back, your father did send you some money.
He did not send me any money until April of 2004.
Well, that's what I'm talking. Listen a minute. After you took the car back, he sent you some money. April 2004 is after you took the car back.
Correct.
How much did he send you?
$1,300. Infrequent payments, about
I don't care if it's
four.
frequent payments, infrequent payments. So far, this is what your father has invested in this car. $2,500 in a down payment, $2,400 in payments that he made, and another $1,300 that he sent to you, according to your father, because he says you made a really bad deal when you traded in this car. And you did make a very bad deal. So let's see. So far, he invested $6,200 in this car, $6,200, which he had for 9 months, according to you, right?
Correct.
I don't know what you want. So you sold it for $2,500, you traded it in, and you bought a Honda for how much?
The total amount was $16,000 was the finance for the Honda.
And they gave you credit for $2,500 for your car for a trade-in.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, that's a very bad trade-in, madam.
Cadillacs have a very low resale value.
Then you should have sold it privately. He's not responsible for that.
I
Ms.
would have
Hayes, he's not responsible for that. You made a very bad deal with the dealership.
I made a very bad deal agreeing to help my father get this
You're
car.
absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But he is not responsible for this bad deal that you made in trading in your car. I mean, it's unfortunate, but your father has paid $6,200 for a car that he had for 9 months, right? It was a very bad deal that you made. You still have the Honda?
It's been a great purchase to have that Honda.
All right. Well,
It's been
you
more
had a car.
reliable to me than my father has
Well,
in my
you
whole
had-
life.
You bought a car for $16,000. You bought a car for $16,000. If you couldn't afford it, you shouldn't have bought a car for $16,000 using this Cadillac as a trade-in. I don't even know what the book value is on a 1996 Cadillac or 1997 Cadillac that you sold 2 years ago. Do you know what the book value is?
I do not, Your Honor.
Well, just for curiosity's sake, let's find out, Bert. I believe this was a 1996 Cadillac Sedan DeVille, and it was sold in 2004. Okay, can we find out?
Okay.
Thank you. Now, it's going to be hard to tell because the car was sold in 2004, but let's see what we can do.
Okay. Good condition would be $3,750. Private party good would be $5,125.
So private party good
Right.
would be $5,125, and that's 2 years after you sold it. You sold it 2 years ago. So let's say you add $1,000 for every year. So that's $7,000 that you should have gotten for the car, not $2,500. Should have gotten $7,000 for the car. At the time you traded it in for $2,500. That's not his fault. Okay, I'm sorry, Miss Hayes, your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 268 on the calendar in the matter of Mathia versus Ehart. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat. You're welcome.
Mr. Ehart, you don't look so well.
What was that?
I don't know. Did you have a bad night last night?
No.
Out partying a little late last night?
No, not last night.
What about the night before last?
Yeah, I might have went out on the town a little bit.
How old are you, sir?
22.
Mr. Ehart, you keep going out like that and partying and, having great times. By the time you're 30, you're going to look 90. Take that as some good advice from me.
Okay.
I have had 22-year-old children. They look a lot better than you. Got it?
Got it.
Good. Miss Mathia, according to your complaint, this young man used to be your boyfriend, clearly an error in your judgment. You claim that last year he assaulted you, he emptied a joint bank account, and he's got some personal property that belongs to you.
Right.
Mr. Ehart says you've got to move on. Get over it. Did you live together last year?
In 2005, yes, ma'am.
From when to when? Keep your voice up.
I moved out on March 19th, 2005.
When did you move in together?
September or October of 2004 was when we moved in our house together, but before that, we were living at his mother's house together.
How old are you?
Now I am 21.
When you were living at his mother's house, had you gone there from your parents' house?
From my father's house, yes.
Was that a bad situation at your father's house?
It wasn't the best.
Was it better at his house?
No.
Just trying to get a sense of things. You said that you separated in March of 2005. Was that the date of this alleged assault?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like you to tell me what happened, please.
Okay, that morning we woke up and I asked him what his plans for the day was. And he said he was going to go to his father's house to work on his car. I said, fine. And I asked him, we were selling things on eBay. And I had asked him if before he left, he would set up the digital camera because I couldn't figure it out. And I don't know if I had said something wrong, but it made him mad. And he started yelling and throwing things. And I ended up getting pushed down into a stack of boxes that were like 5 or 6 boxes
She's
high.
lying, Judge.
You'll have a turn. Go ahead.
Okay. And then when I got pushed down, I was on the floor, and he grabbed the front of my hair right here and took my head and started beating it into the door frame. And I will admit, while he was doing that, I did bite him. I bit him because it was the only thing I could do to get him off of me. He finally let go, and I took off running to the front door. And while I was running to the front door, we had a big rock he was making like a water fountain. And there was rocks, and he took it and threw it at me and hit me in my back. And I do have pictures of everything.
I'd like to take a look at them. You also have a police report?
I have the report that I wrote.
Okay, I gather from the complaint, both of you at some point on that day were arrested, but ultimately you were let go and he was taken into custody. Is that right?
Yes. We ended up going to court, and he was found guilty.
Okay. When you went to court on the assault charge, it was domestic violence assault charge, was there a trial or did he plead guilty?
I think he pled not guilty. The judge heard my case, and they heard his case.
So you testified?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it correct, Mr. Earhart, that you were found guilty after a trial of domestic violence?
That is correct.
And what happened with that case, sir?
I appealed it, and the charges were dismissed.
Explain that to me, sir.
I believe they dismissed it because there was lack of evidence.
No, ma'am.
She attacked me.
I bit him, yes, I did.
The plaintiff says in between the trial and whatever happened subsequently, you were arrested on another charge, which sort of complicated your criminal history. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is.
And what happened with that case?
It was amended to traffic violation.
To a traffic violation? What kind of traffic violation?
Let's see, running a stop sign and failure to yield.
Somebody was killed in that incident. Is
Yes.
that right?
2 people were killed in that accident.
Were you drag racing?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't even involved in the accident.
You just jumped a stop sign.
Yeah.
Had you been drinking?
No, I hadn't.
What time did this happen?
About 1:20.
In the afternoon?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to tell me your version of what happened on March 19th?
Well, she did ask me to set up the camera for her on the internet, and I didn't do it right away, so she started screaming at me, and I picked up the phone to make a phone call, and she takes it away from me, and hit me in the head with it. And then I tried to get the phone again because I was trying to call my mom to see what I had to do to get her evicted. And at that time, she spit in my face and tried to punch me. So I grabbed both of her wrists and just basically restrained her from hitting me. And in the process of that, we went to the floor and my arm crossed her mouth. That's when she bit me. I let go of her. She ran out of the house.
How did your arm cross her mouth?
I was holding her wrist on the floor, and she was struggling.
Well, that's hard. If you're holding her wrists on the floor, I'd like to know how could you know what I'm talking about, Bert?
I understand.
You know, unless she had a really long neck. How did she bite you, sir, if what you were doing was you were holding both her arms on the floor?
We were in an area that was about this big, and we began like this, and then we turned. And when we came down on the floor, she was struggling, trying to hit me the whole time. I'm trying to hold her hands, and somehow my arm got across her mouth, and she bit me. At that time, I let go of her, and she left.
How'd she get the bruise on her back?
I don't know. I don't know that she had a bruise on her back.
She did have, I saw the photographs. So what I'm asking you, how does she get the bruise on her back? She threw a rock at herself?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you an only child?
No, I'm not.
Are you the oldest or the youngest?
Youngest.
How many were there before you?
2.
How did they turn out?
Fine.
Fine. Should have stopped with 2.
And later today,
Mr. Sabat, you don't want me to think you're a lowlife.
I'm not a lowlife.
You are, sir.
Why is that?
Because if you said to me we really cared about each other,
I
and that's
didn't
what
care about
I'm speaking, don't ever interrupt me.
Jamie Mathia claims her ex-boyfriend, Russell Ehart, owes for stealing money from a joint bank account, the return of her belongings, and a violent assault.
Okay. Now tell me about this joint bank account.
We had a bank account in both of our names so that when I paid bills, we both got credit for them.
Did each of you contribute to the bank account?
Well, he did sometimes. It was kind of like pulling teeth to get rent money and bill money. I just took all the bills, added them up, divided them in 2.
Okay, but you both put money into the joint account.
He gave the cash to me and I deposited in the account, yes.
Okay, and you put your paycheck in the account?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Earhart, according to the plaintiff, you emptied the joint bank account.
I did.
And what happened was she wrote a $6 check on that joint bank account and it bounced. Your response said she had no business writing a check on a joint bank account. That's what you say here.
The
well,
reason,
if that's
though,
true, Mr. Earhart, could you explain why you emptied it?
she was there when I closed the account. She knew that I closed it and there was no money.
Shh. Explain that to me, sir.
I went to the bank to close the account.
On what date did you go to the bank?
I'm not sure what the date was.
Before or after March 19th?
It was before.
No, ma'am.
Shh. Don't interrupt him.
Sorry.
It was before March 19th.
Sure.
Sure is not an answer, sir. Sure is what you do when you talk to your friends outside in the park. It's either yes or no, or I don't recall, I don't remember.
I'm not sure when it was for sure.
Well, if it was afterwards, you would agree it was the wrong thing to do.
Why would it be wrong?
Because you said it was wrong, sir. You said it was wrong for her to have written a $6 check on a joint bank account after the 2 of you had broken up. And I said to you, then what gives you the right to empty out the bank account if it was a joint account? Then you said I emptied it out before, and she knew about it. That's what you just told me. I mean, I'm getting old, sir, but my memory is sharp. That's because I don't party like you do. Now, so let's get to it, sir.
Okay.
Do you want to tell me how she was aware of the fact that you emptied the joint bank account because you went to the bank together?
She was at the bank at the same time that I was when I emptied the bank account. I didn't want a joint bank account with her name in it because she's going to write bad checks with my name on it.
Just a second, but you
And it happened.
But you hadn't had a fight yet. If this happened before March 19th, you hadn't had a fight yet, unless you have some sort of clairvoyant gift or skill. How would you know that you were going to have a fight on March 19th to bring you to the bank before March 19th to close the account?
We were breaking up anyway, Your Honor. I'm not sure what the date was. It possibly was after March 19th.
Now, if
or
it
the
was
day
after
of.
March 19th, you wouldn't have been at the bank together. So she didn't know that you closed the account. Are you making things up as you're going along, sir?
No, I'm not making
Yes,
it
you
up.
are. Sure you are. I mean, I don't know why you think that you can come here and act like a fool. Can I see the date that he closed the joint account?
Yes, ma'am. I was not at the bank. I was at work that day.
It doesn't make any difference. So it looks as if he took out $400. Is that what you took out of the account, sir? $400?
Yes.
So why didn't you send her half the money?
She didn't ask for it.
Well, now she is. Shh. Now she is. So she gets $200 from the joint bank account. Now let's talk about the property. Go!
When I left, I took what I could get in my car.
What did you leave there?
Oh, everything, Your Honor.
Well, why didn't you get it back? We're a year later.
Yes, I have tried numerous times
Well,
to
that's
get
too
it.
bad. Are you still living in the same house?
I recently moved back in about a month ago.
Had you left?
I moved out the day after she did.
And how long were you gone?
A year.
You waited too long.
Your Honor.
You waited too long. You know where a courthouse is, and if you wanted your property, I'm not going to go tracing your property over the last year. It's not going to happen.
I understand
Good.
what you're saying.
I'm glad you understand. While you were living together, did either of you abuse drugs?
No.
She did.
What?
She smoked marijuana.
Not you.
Your Honor.
Shh, shh, shh. Not you.
Yeah, I did.
Well, then why did you just say she?
Well, she did it a lot more than I did, Your Honor. She was a heavy user.
Ooh.
She needs to go to
Just a second, are
rehab.
you an only child?
No, I'm not.
Are you the oldest or the youngest?
Youngest.
How many were there before you?
2.
How did they turn out?
Fine.
Fine. Should have stopped with 2. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all. Step out.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I have never heard as many lies come out of that boy's mouth today as I have in my whole life.
Jamie here, she's just poor. She can't pay her bills, and she wants to mooch off me as usual, like she used to.
He didn't pay anything. He hardly ever even went to work.
She never had a job, or if she did, she worked at a gas station like she does now.
He's nuts. I mean, really, he is beyond nuts.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Collins versus Sabet. Step forward, please.
23-year-old Erin Collins is suing her ex-boyfriend, 23-year-old Amir Sabet, for a $500 loan. Amir says the money was a birthday gift.
Miss Collins, you and the defendant dated for a brief period of time. $500 changed hands from you to the defendant. You claim it was a loan. He says it was a gift. Why in the world would you give him money?
Because he was in need, and...
Look at me.
I'm looking at you. He was in need. I had slept over that night.
Slept at his apartment?
Yes.
What night was it?
The first week of May.
Of 06?
Correct.
And how long had you been dating him at the time?
6 months.
So you slept at his apartment?
Correct. That night I was over, he was pacing, saying that his father was in Las Vegas and that he needed to pay his father's bills when he was away. He asked me if I could loan him the money.
How much did he say he needed?
He said he needed $500.
So you said you would loan him the money?
Correct.
When did he say he would pay you back?
That Saturday.
What was going to happen the following Saturday that would give him $500?
His father was flying in from Las Vegas at Logan Airport, and he was picking him up, and he said he would receive the money then. He went to go pick him up at Logan Airport, and he said he would receive the money the next week. It continued, I will give you the money, I will give you the money, and it went on for months, and I did not receive the money.
But you continued to see him?
No, we did not continue to see each other.
Well, when did you stop seeing him?
In June.
So this happened the first week in May. You stopped seeing him in June.
Correct.
Why?
Why? Because he started acting weird, promising that he'd give me the money. And he has talked to several of my friends about it.
Don't tell me anything that he discusses with your friends. That's hearsay.
Correct. And I also have text messages on my cell phone. If you would like to see them.
Do you have them with you?
I do.
I'd like to see them.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Sabat, you want to tell me about this $500, please?
Yeah, it was given to me as a gift.
When?
In early May.
Well, tell me how that came about, Mr. Sabat.
I told her I had to pay my father's bills before he came back. It was for his mortgage. So she gave me the $500.
Just a second. Why did you have to pay your father's mortgage?
He was away. I've been helping him for a while. He just sold his house last month, and he's not working. He's retired. My mother passed away last August.
It's a very sad story, sir. Why were you paying your father's mortgage?
Just helping him.
What was he doing in Las Vegas?
On a vacation to get away from everything with my aunt and uncle.
He flew to Las Vegas?
Yep.
Instead of paying his mortgage?
Well, I told him I'd take care of it. I told him, go have fun.
So I assumed that if you told your father to go and have fun, that you would take care of it, that you had the money.
Correct.
So why didn't you use your money?
Well, business was slow at the time where I work, and
How long was your father in Las Vegas?
a week.
He was coming back after the first week in May, so I assume the mortgage was due May 1st. There is a certain grace period with a mortgage. Why did you take $500? Don't give me the baloney about your father's mortgage. Why did you take $500 from her?
She gave it to me as an early birthday gift. She said, don't pay it back.
Mr. Sabat, let me explain something to you. I don't believe you. You're a liar.
I'm
Paying
lying.
your father's mortgage is not a birthday present. If you said, I need $500, I want to go out and buy myself something, or I owe people money and I have to pay them, or else I'm going to get myself in trouble, then I could understand her saying to you, I love you, honey. Here's $500 that you need. It's an early birthday present, but not to pay your father's mortgage. That is not romantic, sir. You understand?
Well, I understand, yeah.
Good. That's not what you needed $500 for. Don't believe you.
Okay.
On June 14th, you sent her a message, sir, that says, after I pay you, I don't want to see you or hear you again. You remember that?
She texted it to herself. You can text message online and send it to somebody's phone. I never sent the text message.
So what did you do when she asked you for the money? Did you respond to her?
I never responded to any of her phone calls. I actually...
When did she start asking you for this money back?
Probably a couple weeks after I stopped talking to her.
And when was that?
End of May, beginning of June.
Why did you stop talking to her at the end of May?
I've been trying to get rid of her. I was trying to get rid of her for a while.
How long is a while, Mr. Sabat?
About a month, month and a half.
Well, a month, month and a half would bring us to April.
Right. I've been trying to get rid of her since I hadn't...
Then why did you take $500 from her? If you were trying...
She gave it to me.
Is there something wrong with you?
Nothing at all.
Oh, there is. There is absolutely something wrong with you. Who are you?
I'm his co-worker. The reason why I'm here is because everyone would come into our dealership, our place of business, and she'd she calls a big fit.
Good. Sit down.
Sorry. It's just that... Sorry.
Mr. Sabat, you don't want me to think you're a lowlife.
I'm not a lowlife.
You are, sir. You want me to tell you why you're a lowlife?
Why is that?
Because if you said to me, we really cared about each other, and
I
that's
didn't
what
care about
I'm
it.
speaking. Don't ever interrupt me.
Sorry.
If you said to me, we really cared about each other, I was in a bind, I needed $500. She said, sure, I'll give it to you. If you can pay me back, fine. If you can't, fine. And you were together, you were a couple. And then you broke up. You know, sometimes I can understand that that sort of thing happens. But that's not what you told me, Mr. Sabat. What you told me was you were trying to get rid of her before you took the $500 from her.
Correct.
You were trying to get rid of her before she slept over at your house the beginning of May. And a lowlife takes advantage of somebody who may not be as swift as they are or thinks they're not as swift. You know, there's a difference between being intellectually gifted and having no moral compass, sir. If I had my choice between not being intellectually gifted but having a moral compass, I would pick having a moral compass. You evidently made the wrong choice. You owe her $500, sir. Pay it. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step up. Now, this is case number 237 on the calendar in the matter of Goppert versus Fitzgerald. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat, please.
Mrs. Goppert, you and your husband own a trucking company.
That's
and
correct.
You became acquainted with the defendant, I gather, through his wife, girlfriend? Girlfriend. At some point, and for a reason that you will tell me, it is your claim that you paid some fines that he had outstanding in the criminal justice system. Your arrangement, according to you, was that the fines would enable him to get a certain kind of a license that would allow him to drive a truck, and he would be working for you and your husband's company, and he would pay you so much per week or month, whenever he was paid, out of his pay.
That's correct.
the two couples, you and your husband and the defendant and his girlfriend, went on a trip together. There was an argument. You stopped speaking to each other after you paid these fines. Mr. Fitzgerald says that it was very nice of you to pay the fines. He didn't ask you to pay the fines. He had no intention of going to work for your husband. He had no intention of taking up trucking. He had a good job that he liked. And you, out of the goodness of your heart, paid his criminal fines. Is that your defense, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Fitzgerald, what were these fines for, and how old were they, sir?
Dating back to probably 1999 to 2000 to 2001.
What were they for?
Various charges, logbook violations.
What is that?
I had a CDL license that was suspended.
What is a CDL?
Commercial driver's license, 18-wheeler.
Yes.
At one point in time, I was paying big money to child support, trying to make ends meet, and ended up getting some fines, pulled over.
For what?
They're just different things.
Come on.
Logbook violations.
Tell me what's a logbook violation.
It's a book that a commercial driver's license has to keep about the hours of work, the hours of driving the truck.
So you first found guilty of violating the code to keep that book, which you keep in order to maintain an honest record of the driving hours you put in.
Well, ma'am, I was not found guilty of that.
You mean you were found not guilty of that and they imposed a fine anyway?
Yes.
On top of several other tickets.
That's an interesting criminal justice system. You found not guilty and got a fine anyway?
Yes, ma'am, of different charges. The charges were reduced.
So you pled down to a lesser charge?
Yes, ma'am.
I got it now. So you accumulated all of these fines. Did you still have a driver's license, sir?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Mr. Fitzgerald, you're supposed to pay fines. I'm sure you were told that as a condition of the plea and the reduction in the fines, so that, I don't know whether there was potential jail time involved, you were supposed to pay the fines.
Yes, ma'am.
So why don't you? That's your responsibility.
Well, at that time, Your Honor,
Let's not talk about at that time when you had big child support, you had other things that you had to take care of. We're talking about 6 years later, sir.
Yes, ma'am. The problem was, like I said, back years ago, I used to pay more money in my check for child support than I was actually making. There was times and points where I actually received check stubs stating void, $0. I actually owed the company money.
Well, sir, that's
You can't take blood from a stone, Your Honor.
Mr. Fitzgerald, how many children do you have, sir?
3 children.
The only reason that they were taking out more money, sir, than you actually made was because there was a time when you got behind in your child support.
Yes, ma'am.
They don't keep me here because I'm gorgeous. You could have disagreed with me, Mr. Fitzgerald. It would have gone far. So the reason, right? Yeah, what a missed opportunity. So, for that reason, sir, you didn't do the right thing with regard to your 3 children, and the state said, "Okay, what's your first name?"
Chris.
Chris. Okay, Chris, we're going to really give it to you. We're going to take all your money. So whatever you work for, we're going to take because you didn't do the right thing to begin with. What I don't understand, Mr. Fitzgerald, is that after you owed this money, now we're talking about years later, and I assume that now, based upon your answer, you were making good money. So if you were making good money, why didn't you pay your debt to society?
I can't answer that, Your Honor. Just
Good. It's a good thing you can't answer it. You don't know. There's no good reason.
Doesn't pay any of his debts.
Shh. Miss Scott, does it sound as if you're losing yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Now, you want to tell me how come it came about that you pay these fines for him?
Absolutely.
First of all, there had to come a time in your relationship with Mr. Fitzgerald, which was a brief relationship because you only met him through his girlfriend, who was a friend of yours, that you found out that he had all these old fines, right?
Right.
You didn't, go like this to your crystal ball and they say, "Oh, Chris Fitzgerald has fines, I'm going to pay them." Somebody must have told you.
Do you have any you'd like me to pay?
Right.
Anybody else?
Anybody else? So would you please tell me, Miss Coppert, how you found out that Mr. Fitzgerald had these fines that precluded him from having a driver's license?
Okay. In speaking with his girlfriend, Terry, over coffee in a convenience store one morning, it was brought to my attention that he did want to drive truck again, but
Is that
he
what
had
she
no
said?
license.
That's what she said.
She asked to drive.
Hey. What's your name?
Terry.
How long have you been a friend of Terry's?
Maybe just a little short of a year.
Okay. So you and Terry having coffee, she says that a boyfriend was interested in driving a truck.
He had a CDLA, yes, and that we had the trucking company, and he'd like to get back into the trucking company because he made good money. How convenient. I happen to have a trucking company.
Great.
So we talked about it over several weeks. I said, well, you know, he needs to fill out an application. Let's see what we can do with it. After the application process, I find out he doesn't have a license. And he had 14 tickets within 4 municipalities. They produced a copy of his expansion record from New York State Department of Motor Vehicle to me.
Who produced it?
Terry brought it into work. I looked it over and I said, wow, what is this mess? She proceeded to tell me that at one point, Chris had retained an attorney. The attorney did get some of the charges dismissed. We went from 14 down to 7. 7 of them were dismissed.
Your Honor, why would my attorney...
Was that a question you were posing to me?
Yes, I'm trying to...
Oh, just a second. I don't answer questions. I ask them.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I agreed to drive her truck.
Oh,
that's all
now
it was.
there you...
Now,
you've got just a second. Hey, Slick, I read your answer. You want to read it again?
And later today...
Were you there that night, sir?
Yes, I was.
Good. That's all I asked you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Karen Goppert claims former friend Chris Fitzgerald racked up multiple tickets as a truck driver. She paid the outstanding fines on his behalf and claims Chris never paid her back.
Okay, so far, I haven't heard a conversation with Mr. Fitzgerald. I've heard a conversation only with Terry.
Chris also, over the course of the winter, wasn't working and needed money. And my husband and I also have 11 rental properties. And Chris is somewhat of a handyman, if that's what you want to call it. He put a steel roof on one of our rental properties.
He worked for you over the summer. Go ahead.
And he was paid in full.
Go ahead.
And of course, during the course of him working on our rental properties, there was discussion about getting these tickets resolved. It was agreed that I would pay the fines for him so that he could get his CDLA. He would drive truck for us. Then the bottom line number, said and done, after we got to that point where everything was paid and he started driving truck for us, I would take whatever Chris and I agreed to per week out of his pay to repay the debt.
You had that conversation with Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes, I did.
Okay, now, how much did you pay to get his record cleared?
$635.
Okay, go ahead.
After we got all the fines paid, it was time for him to go to the New York State DMV and get his permit so that he could take the 6-hour course. I had given Terry at the store over coffee one morning $100 in cash. In fact, it was a $100 bill, and she remarked how she never had one of those. And I gave her the $100 bill so that Chris could obtain the permit and pay for the 6-hour course.
Go ahead.
So there's another $100.
Well, not necessarily, but go ahead.
Okay. He took all the receipts to DMV to get his permit and could not get it because he had no birth certificate. He has no social security card. He has no identity. So he calls me up all in a tizzy. These people, blah, blah, blah. He's irate. Bring me what you got. Let's see what you got. He comes over to my house. Come to find out he was born in Canada. He has dual citizenship. So I paid another $35 on my credit card, and here's a copy of the application to try to get him a birth certificate from Canada.
Go ahead.
That's it. Not, my time, my postage, endless hours, letters, communication, correspondence, telephone
calls. Okay, Mr. Fitzgerald, let me hear your version of the event, sir.
Ma'am, it started about the time she stated. Karen had paid $635, but she wanted me to drive her truck. I gave up driving truck in the year 2000. I gave up driving for 30 cents a mile. She was putting me in a truck for 30 cents a mile. Here we are 6 years later. Inflation's gone up, ma'am.
Mr. Fitzgerald, you told me in your answer, sir, you didn't want to drive a truck. Then could you explain to me why you went down to try to get a license?
Because I need a license for many reasons. I need one for an identification card. I need one to drive to and from work.
Well, if you didn't go down to get it in order to drive trucks for her, What did you go to her house for when you were having difficulty and have her put on her credit card an additional $35, sir? If you, listen to me, if your intention, or at least your articulated intention, was not to become part of her business, if you couldn't get a driver's license, sir, why didn't you go to your girlfriend to get the $35? Why would you go to a stranger, Mr. Fitzgerald? That doesn't make sense to me, sir.
Exactly, ma'am. I never asked Mrs. Gopper.
No. You did go to her house.
After the fact. After the fact.
No. Listen to me very carefully. Watch my mouth. You did go to her house.
After the fact.
After what fact?
The fact that she'd already spent the $35 for the application fee, ma'am.
No. We're not talking about the application fee, sir. We're talking about the fact that you went to get a license.
Yes, ma'am.
Which you say you needed for identification. Just identification, not because you had any business with her. You just need an identification to sort of get around. You haven't had it for years, but you needed it now. And then you ran into some difficulty because you didn't have a birth certificate. So why wouldn't you go to your girlfriend if you didn't have $35 and say, listen, I need $35, I don't have it. I don't have a credit card, I need it now. Or why not just wait? You've waited for years anyway.
Your Honor, I could have reached into my own pocket and pulled out the $35.
Then
but
why?
Mrs. Gopper has volunteered her money to pay my fines, to pay everything for me to drive her truck.
You're not following me, sir.
Your Honor, you're not following me. She wanted me to drive her truck. I agreed to drive her truck.
Oh,
that's all
now
it was.
There you
now was
now
Your
you
Honor,
got just a second. Hey, Slick, I read your answer. You want to read it again?
No, ma'am. I know what I said.
What you said was you had no intention of driving a truck. Now you tell me you did
not
have
at 30
intention.
cents a mile, ma'am. I quit 6 years ago at 30 cents a mile. I'm not going to start.
So
why go backwards in life?
Mr.
Life is
Fitzgerald,
going forward.
Listen to me. When my mouth starts to move, you have to stop.
Yes, ma'am.
So is what you're saying to me, sir, that you agreed to drive a truck for her and you agreed to pay her out of your pay, but when push came to shove, she was only prepared to pay you 30 cents a mile, and you weren't going to work for the same wages that you worked for 6 years ago?
Correct.
Well, that's too bad. You should have figured that out before you took her money.
Thank you.
What you're saying to me now is different from what you put in your answer. What you're saying to me now is there was an agreement to pay her back, but you did not have an agreed upon amount of money for when you drove with her, or when push came to shove, you said, I'm not driving for you for
Your
35.
Honor, I never asked
I'm speaking, sir. That's what you just told me. And if that's what you just told me, you don't understand that you cannot modify the terms of a contract. Your contract with her was a verbal contract. She paid the fines. You were going to go to work for her. If you breached that agreement by not going to work for her, that, sir, does not vitiate your contract. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $635.
Thank you.
But she did lie.
She's a wealthy woman, and she's got more money than I have and ever will have.
I don't just shell out money to people. Wealthy or not wealthy, money don't grow on trees in my backyard.
I agreed to drive her truck, and now I'm not going to.
If he had no intentions of driving a truck, why did he fill out the application? Why waste my time?
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Schulteis versus Britain, step forward, please.
20-year-old Lisa Schulteis is suing her former friend, 20-year-old Kelly Britton, for the money she paid to go on a 2-day cruise to the Bahamas.
Tell me your first name.
My name is Lisa Schulteis.
Kelly.
You two gals used to be friends, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
And at some point, Kelly, you lived with Lisa and her family?
Yes, over the summer.
How long had you been friends?
We've been friends since 5th grade, about 10 years.
This is your lawsuit. Kelly was getting married.
Yes.
And she prepaid non-refundable tickets, allegedly, for her honeymoon. And that was going to be where?
The cruise was going to the Bahamas, Nassau.
And that was for you and your fiancé?
Yes.
And when the wedding sort of went off, you asked her if she wanted to go.
Yes.
Because these were non-refundable tickets. She said yes. And according to you, you paid her the $600
Yes.
for the ticket. Then you had a fight, and you said, I'm not going, and I want my money back. Now, Ms. Britton says two things. She said, first, you only gave her $200, and second, you decided not to go. That doesn't mean you get your money back, because ultimately, you did go on the trip,
Yes.
but you went with your mother.
Mhm.
Other than the fact that you say that you gave her $600, is there any proof that you gave her $600?
I actually bought a 18-foot diameter swim pool. It's $268 and something change. I decided a month later that I did not want the swim pool anymore, that I would take it and use it towards the trip. So I took the swim pool back and I handed the money to Kelly right in front of my mom. I counted $270.
Okay, so that's $270.
Yes.
That's not $600.
I also, well, my mom was there that night.
So far I have $270.
I have proof if you'd like to see the receipts.
Receipts from what?
From the swim pool.
I believe the swim pool. I believe the swim pool. The swim pool is $270. That's not $600.
Yes.
I'm a witness to some of it.
Are you the witness to anything other than the $270?
Yes.
Yes, she is.
Stand up. You're her mother?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead.
I seen Lisa give her first payment. She come home and she handed her $70, the first payment. The second payment that I seen her give her was $60. And then the deal with the pool, it totaled like $400 I seen her.
You weren't there when she gave me the pool money, Donna.
Yes, I was.
But she gave you the pool money.
The last
And
part of
Zach
it.
was there
Well,
when he
just a
gave her the
second.
last of it. Zach seen her
Okay,
give him
sit down.
$95.
Ma'am, honor. The last payment was $95. Zach, the witness, was over at my house that night. They were fighting. I came home from work. I handed Kelly the money. She told me I finished paying off the trip money, that we were pretty much ready to go. It was a week later we got into a fight, and I kicked her out July 21st.
Okay, $95 when?
That was July 10th, 2006. It was
And
a
when
Monday.
was the trip scheduled for?
August 5th.
Were you there that night, sir?
Yes, I was.
Good. That's all I asked you. Now, you had a fight. Ordinarily, because you had a fight with her less than 2 weeks before this trip,
Yes.
I would say, well, you decided not to go. You don't get the money back. However, Kelly, you took your mother.
Yes.
Why didn't your mother pay you?
My mother ended up paying me the other $200 that Lisa did not pay me.
That's not
Well,
right.
shh. Miss Britton, you're fibbing. Either you're fibbing here or you're fibbing now, because your answer says she only gave you $200, which means she owed you $400. And you just said to me, my mother gave me the $200 that she didn't give me, which means she gave you $400.
No, ma'am.
Were you just confused?
No, in my answer it says I told Lisa that since it was such short notice, it was only 2 months before the trip was even scheduled, that she could just pay me $400, because I know that, you know, she was just starting out her new career and she did not make a lot of money.
No, that's not correct.
Shh, don't speak now. Let me tell you something. Your mother should have taken care of it, madam. Your mother doesn't get to go on a free trip.
It wasn't completely free for her.
Shouldn't be free at all. This is the fiance. I assume you're back together with him?
Yes.
He should have paid for it.
I originally did.
Then if you backed out and say, listen, sweetheart, we're not a team anymore, keep the money, find somebody to go with you. But you don't take him who backed out and your mother who went on the trip and charge her for the trip. That's ridiculous. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $495. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
On the matter of Clark versus Morgan, parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Ms. Clark, it is your claim that the defendant came to your home. She came with other relatives of hers. She damaged your home and assaulted you. And this was all over an incident that involved your husband, who I see is not present today. Ms. Morgan says she was very angry with your husband because he had sexually abused a cousin of hers, and she did in fact come to the house, but she neither damaged the house nor did she assault you. How do you know each other?
My husband and her boyfriend are childhood friends.
When did this sexual assault allegedly take place, Miss Morgan?
In July of 2003.
Where did it allegedly take place?
At my house.
And what was Miss Clark's husband doing at your house?
He was originally at the bar with my ex. She came into the bar, took his keys from him because he was there. He called my house, didn't have anywhere to go, So my ex went and picked him up and let him come spend the night at our house because they were fighting.
And how old is this cousin of yours who is
13.
Now, I gather that that case has been resolved. Is that right?
He's in jail for it now.
And he pled guilty to assault.
Sexual assault.
Sexual assault?
Mm-hmm.
How long is your husband incarcerated?
He's incarcerated for another year.
How long has he been incarcerated?
A year.
I don't know how that...
Do you have a different...
Yes.
Go ahead.
He took the plea bargain. They gave him, I forget how many years it was, but he has to stay in jail for 10 years because part of his plea bargain was to waive his right to all appeals and modifications.
And this happened July what?
I believe it was around the 26th.
So on the 26th, you were advised by your 13-year-old cousin that
Yes.
this assault had taken place?
Yes.
Who went over to the plaintiff's house?
Me, my sister, her husband, and my ex.
Why did you go over there?
Because we were mad.
That the way you respond?
No, we didn't go over there to do anything to her. In fact, when we arrived to the house, I am the one who knocked on the door, and I asked for her because I felt sorry for her. I really did. I mean, how can you tell somebody your husband just raped my 13-year-old cousin? She came to the door, then he came to the door. When he came to the door, he stepped outside. He was a nervous wreck. He was like this. He knew what we were there for. As soon as he steps outside, my sister's husband went after him. They fought on the sidewalk. She comes outside.
Just a second. That is a mistake. You understand that. That was the wrong thing to happen.
Right, I know that, but
Just
I
a
didn't
second.
do it. I didn't.
Miss
kick the door
Morgan,
in.
listen to me. What did you go there for?
To confront him for my 13-year-old cousin.
All right, Miss Clark, let me hear you. What happened when she arrived there?
When her and her family members arrived, they were beating down the door. My daughter here and my husband were on their way down the steps to find out what the heck was going on, because it was throughout the neighborhood you could hear them screaming obscenities and everything. Just as Brandy went to open the door, it came open. I mean, they just piled in. In the process of Dion being behind Brandy, she got hurt the worst. They were dragging him out of the house and throwing him everywhere, beating and punching him. And when I came out the house, Jennifer came at me with a broken, rusty rake, and she went and shoved it in my stomach, and I fell against steps, and Brandy went after her, and another girl went after her. And
You are amazing.
It was
You are
no way.
amazing.
Miss Morgan, say nothing until it's your turn. Do you understand? Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Go ahead. We were just outnumbered. We just had to just go in the house. My other daughter called the police because it was horrible. It was like a rumble, tumble, everything. And they were.
You have any photographs of your house?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see them, please. Tell me about your injuries.
Well, I didn't really have too many injuries because I just fell into the steps, but my husband was really beat up.
Well, I'm not here to discuss your husband. And while I absolutely abhor what happened that day, and I'm not talking about the night before, I'm talking about that day and Miss Morgan and her family and friends coming to your house, which I think is wholly inappropriate. Uncross your hands. Your husband's injuries are your husband's injuries. My question to you, Miss Clark, is, it is clear to me that Miss Morgan was not alone. This young lady was with her, according to her, as well as two other men. Why didn't you sue them?
I didn't even know who they were, and that lady right there wasn't present.
You didn't see her?
No. No, she wasn't present.
Okay. Step up. You were there?
Yeah.
Good. What's your name?
Sarah Weiser.
When you grow up, your top is going to fit your pants so that it all comes together. When you come to court, we don't do that. You're supposed to come to court looking like you're coming to court. You were there that day? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh is not an answer.
Yes.
That's better. What did you go there for?
To confront her husband.
Why? That's what the police are for.
Because he raped our 13-year-old cousin.
That's what the police are for.
And we called the police.
Before you went over or after? It's not an answer.
Same time.
What do you mean the same time? What does that mean, the same time?
We called her mother. Her mother called the police while we were in pursuit to her house.
What do you do what do you do for a living? I'm speaking. What do you do for a living?
Daycare.
You do what?
Daycare.
For children?
Yes. I have 4 children.
How old are you?
28.
28, 4 children. Do your 4 children all have the same father?
No.
How many different fathers do your 4 children have?
2.
Do any of them live with you?
Any of my children's fathers?
Yes.
Yes.
Which ones?
The one that came to her house.
I thought you said he was your ex.
He is my ex, but we still live together.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You had no right to terrorize her, and you had no right to terrorize her daughter.
They were not touched.
I said terrorize, you idiot!
And later today,
the dog was not outside. Immediately I said to my son, we need to go to the dog shelter. A woman walked out and she said, I am so sorry to tell you this, but at the same time that you walked in, we were euthanizing your animal.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ramona Clark says family acquaintance Jennifer Morgan owes for damage to her home and for an assault. Jennifer says Ramona's husband sexually assaulted her 13-year-old cousin.
Let me explain something to you, Miss Morgan. You had absolutely no right, either with or without Miss Bad Midriff over here, to go to her house that day with either alone or with anybody else. You had no right to terrorize her, and you had no right to terrorize her daughter.
They were not touched. They were not touched.
I said terrorize, you idiot!
This originally started as a criminal case. She filed charges against me. The state dropped them.
Let me tell you something, madam. The state where you reside may decide that whatever actions you did that day were motivated by female testosterone that was running in your blood and by the testosterone of the two idiot males that you were with. But in this country, we don't do what you did. Because according to what you told me when you started, this lady came to a bar where her husband was. He was drunk. She took the car keys away so that he wouldn't drive, so that he couldn't hurt himself or hurt somebody else. So she doesn't sound like she is a lunatic. It sounds like she was trying to do the responsible thing. Your ex, genius that he is, said, come and sleep in my house. So he brought him back to the house, and somebody wasn't minding the store at your house. Because if you have a drunk man staying in your house, it seems to me you watch him very, very carefully. You certainly don't respond to that kind of action, the kind of action that he committed, by going to his house and terrorizing his family. Idiot. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,500. That's all. Out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It's a shame that the vicious nature of some people can destroy the lives of others.
I hope it gave her a reason to really want to stick by her husband, who's in jail for 10 years.
There was no DNA evidence.
It was 1 in 500 quintillion that it was him.
It's crazy. All kind of stuff going through my head, wondering if the accusations are true.
It was up to us to bust it for what he did, and that's what we did.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Allen versus Caldwell. Step forward, please.
Nurse Karen Allen is suing her former pet sitter, 21-year-old ER clerk Tiffany Caldwell, for rent and for the cost of a Welsh Corgi. Karen says while she was away, her dog was euthanized.
Miss Allen, according to your complaint, you hired Miss Caldwell to house and dog sit for you. You were going to be gone for several months, and you had to leave your dog at home. The arrangement was that she would stay in your house for how many months?
It was going to be from March of 2004 until August of 2004.
Unfortunately, when you came home in August, you found that your dog had been euthanized.
Yes, ma'am.
And your house trashed.
Yes, ma'am.
And you want Miss Caldwell to now pay you for rent and for your dog.
Yes,
I don't know how you set a price on that. What kind of dog did you have?
I had an AKC registered Pembroke Welsh Corgi.
How long had you had the dog?
Approximately about a year and a half.
Boy or a girl?
A male.
Where is your home?
In Knoxville, Tennessee.
And where were you going for 5 months?
I was going to work as a travel nurse in Newark, New Jersey.
Is this your son?
Yes, ma'am.
He was going with you?
No, he stayed with his father during the 5 months.
And where does his father live?
In Morristown, Tennessee, about 40 miles away from Knoxville.
How did you find Miss Caldwell?
A common friend of ours that we both share suggested her, said that She was looking for something, and she worked for the same hospital system I worked at in Knoxville. And it's a very choosy hospital system, so I felt that, you know, they've checked her out, and they've checked me out, so we should probably be a pretty good fit. We met and talked, and she agreed to watch my dog and live in the house while I was gone.
Is that correct so far, Miss Caldwell?
Yes, ma'am.
So she moved into the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you check on the house and the defendant during the 5 months that she was there?
Yes, ma'am, I did. I was home 2 or 3 times to take Matthew to hockey events. I would fly in for the weekend, stop by the house, check on the dog. Everything seemed fine. And I would call her frequently. So it was phone tag sometimes, but I would always get a message back, everything was fine. In July, I did call to check on my dog, and she told me that mosquitoes were bad in the area and that he had a few mosquito bites, but he was fine.
You remember that conversation in July?
Actually, it was flies, and she said that it had happened yearly, that his ears would get irritated from where the flies would bother him when he would stay outside.
Why was he staying outside?
The agreement between her and I was, since I worked at the time 10-hour shifts, and she had worked 12 when she lived there, that the dog would, of course, stay outside because couldn't leave him inside that long. And there was a lead that he was attached to. He had a house, he had food, he had water. When I was home, he was in the house with me. When I was at work, he was out in the yard.
When would you leave for work?
It differed. Sometimes I'd work morning shift, sometimes I'd work graveyard shift, evening shift.
You mean when you worked the night shift, you would leave the dog outside all night?
Yeah, that's when he would stay outside nightly.
Was that your agreement with her?
He was not supposed to be outside all night. He was crate trained. He had a nice large roomy crate in the house, and a lot of times, even when I was at work, if I felt the weather was not acceptable and it wouldn't be good for him to be outside, he wouldn't go outside.
Were you sleeping at the house every night?
For the first month or so that I had moved in, I did, and then I got a phone call from Karen telling me that the landlord had told her that he wasn't happy with the fact that someone else was staying there, because I had occasionally had a friend that I worked with stay with me, and he apparently wasn't happy about any of the situation.
Well, he wasn't unhappy with you staying in the house, just with the friend.
Well, the conversation was it was a general, he wasn't happy about any of the situation. He didn't like it. He apparently wasn't happy with Karen being away and somebody else being in the house at all.
Miss Caldwell.
Karen Allen says her former pet sitter, Tiffany Caldwell, owes for trashing her house and causing her Welsh Corgi to be euthanized.
The boy that you had staying at the house, was this your boyfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
I made it very specific that I didn't want any strangers in my house, Your Honor.
Right. Don't give me baloney. Did the landlord complain to you that there was this guy in the house?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
And did you tell her that?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
So you told her not to have the guy in the house?
Correct.
Right. That's different than you not staying in the house. That just says, tell your boyfriend not to stay there. There's a difference, Miss Caldwell. So if she told you the boyfriend couldn't stay there, you decided to stay at his place? Is not an answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you did?
Sometimes.
Okay. So when you stayed there sometimes, that means that you went to work. And when you say you went to work, you left the dog outside. And then when you went to your boyfriend's house, where did you leave the dog?
The dog would stay out.
So that the dog would be out sometimes for 24 hours at a time?
Sometimes, yes, ma'am.
That's irresponsible, Miss Caldwell. Very irresponsible. When you make an arrangement with somebody and you find yourself a boyfriend, then you call her up and you say, listen, I can't keep that part of the bargain because I now have a boyfriend, and it's very important that I sleep with him, because if I don't sleep with him, I'll die. So you're going to have to find somebody else to take care of the dog. You don't just disregard your responsibility and allow the dog to stay outside for 24 hours at a time. We understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
You think I'm right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think you did the wrong thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Good, because that's not what your answer says. I read your answer and you said she told me I couldn't stay there. I said, gee, that doesn't make sense. Here's the woman who hires you to stay in her house. Why would she tell you you couldn't stay there? She didn't tell you you couldn't stay there. She said your boyfriend couldn't stay there. When you got home in August, what did you find, Miss Allen?
We arrived home on August the 13th, Matthew and I. We drove into our driveway, and the dog was not outside. It was a very hot day, and so I thought, well, maybe she had placed the dog inside. But somehow I had this sinking feeling that moms have in their stomach. We got into the house, called for the dog. There was no dog. There was a horrible stench in the house where garbage had been piled up, dirty dishes with water that had like 1/4 of an inch of mold on the top layer of the water. Immediately I said to my son Matthew, I said, we need to go to the dog shelter. We got in the car and went to the shelter, which is 1 mile from my home, and walked in and asked if anybody had turned in a Welsh Corgi. A young man had said, we received a Corgi. What kind is it? I told him it was a Pembroke. He asked me if it was tricolored. I told him yes. He says, I think we have your dog. And of course I was ecstatic. We get back into the back. They couldn't find the dog. They asked me to wait in reception. About 10 or 15 minutes later, a woman walked out who was the manager. She was visibly upset, and she said, I am so sorry to tell you this, but at the same time that you walked in, we were euthanizing your animal, we believe. They asked if we wanted to see the body and identify it, and I said yes. I had to know. Matthew preceded me down the hall and went into her office where they had laid the dog, and he started crying. And right away we knew that it was the dog. And my last vision of this animal is him curled up on the floor with his dog.
How did the dog get to the shelter?
I'm not exactly sure. I know on the evening of the 7th, the morning of the 8th, I was working. I got off at around 1:45, 2 a.m. I had went to the house to feed the dog, and of course I was going to stay there that night. And I pulled into the driveway, but the dog didn't run up to the car. So I looked around and couldn't find him.
So you don't know what happened to the dog? The dog got out somehow?
Right.
And what about the mess that was left in the house?
There was
not an answer.
There was dirty dishes in the house.
Why?
I left because I was upset the dog wasn't there. I couldn't find him. I couldn't get
You
in
left
touch
the dishes
with Karen.
earlier. You left the dishes early. You didn't leave the dishes then. You left the mess in the house before. Why?
There's no excuse.
Where are you living now?
I'm living in an apartment.
And how much rent do you pay?
$360 a month.
$360.
Yes,
Times
ma'am.
5. That's $1,800. You had a bartering agreement with her. Your agreement with her was that in exchange for watching the dog and taking care of the house, you could live in her home rent-free. You didn't live up to your end of the agreement. So you have to pay her rent. Right? Sounds right to me. That's $1,800. Now, you can't put a price on your dog, but there has to be some statement to this young lady that she can't take that kind of responsibility and just cast it out the window because she finds herself a boyfriend. Right? I will put a price on it for the purposes of this litigation. The price that I'm putting on is $2,000. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $3,800. $1,800 for rent and $2,000 because she didn't take care of her responsibility. That's all.
All has been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Lane, Ms. Thomas was a tenant of yours.
Yes, that's correct.
And it is your claim that she owes you for rent, certain property that she took from the apartment or house that she had rented when she ultimately moved out, and that she also owes you for filing false charges against you in her application for a protective order. You claim that Ms. Thomas and her family are professional squatters.
Yes, I do.
Which means that they go into people's homes, they rent them, they pay rent for a while, and they stop paying, and since it takes very often 6 months to a year to get them out, they don't pay rent, and they go from place to place, and that's a scam.
It is a scam.
And you're prepared to demonstrate to me that Ms. Thomas and her family have a history of doing the same kind of thing to other landlords.
Yes, I do.
And I'd be interested to hear about that. In any event, when did you rent? Is it an apartment or a house?
It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, upper middle income with a pool. February, I rented her the home. She signed a lease on February 27th.
Of 2004?
She moved in on 2004. She moved in on March 15th, 2004.
Who moved in?
Valina Thomas, and the premises were leased to her and her daughter. In addition to her moving in, she moved her brother in.
No, just a second. Who signed the lease?
Valina Thomas and Thomas.
Is that your husband?
Yes, ma'am.
How much was the rent, Mr. Lane?
I asked for first, last, and the security
How-
deposit, $1,250, Your Honor. $1,250.
I'm going to ask the questions.
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to give me the answers. If I need for you to expand, you're going to do that
Thank you.
for me. $1,250 a month.
$1,250 a month.
And they gave you first, last, and security.
That's correct.
Okay, so they paid for March, and it was a year lease?
The check for March, Your Honor, was
No, was it a
dishonored.
year lease?
It is a year lease, yes, Your Honor.
The check for March was what, sir?
The check for March was dishonored by the bank. She alleged that a girlfriend had given her a $569 check.
Okay, so the
But
check for March was bounced.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did she ever pay March rent?
She did, Your Honor.
Okay, when did she pay March rent?
She paid March rent prior to April 15th.
And she paid April's rent?
She did pay April's rent, Your Honor.
And what about May?
She did not pay May's, June's, or July's.
Shh. Did she and her husband and the rest of the people that she moved into the house, did they live there May, June, and July?
Yes, they did, Your Honor. They lived there through August.
Through August?
Well, actually, they had abandoned the property, and I lived out of state, and I repossessed the property with a writ of possession on July 29th.
I just want to know,
Yes, ma'am.
when was the last time they lived in the house?
I wouldn't know. I didn't come back to the property until August the 7th.
Okay, when was the last time you lived in the house, Miss Thomas?
July 31st.
Fine. Can I see your rent receipt from May?
Did not pay the rent from May till June. Did
Why?
not.
You lived there in May.
Yes, ma'am. The rent was due on the 15th of every month.
Right.
I paid April's rent from April 15th to May 15th.
Right.
We notified Mr. Lane that my husband's job was transferring him. First, we notified Mr. Brown when we paid April's rent that my husband's job was transferring him to Sarasota, Florida, which is 2 hours away from where we were living. He said, just let me know the date when you're going to be moving. Told Mr. Lane called. He said, I'll tell you what. He says, you paid half of May's rent, and I will return your security deposit if you're out before June the 15th. However, when I asked for a letter stating the fact, everything changed. He sent me a 3-day notice to vacate. Then he sent me another 3-day notice from a realtor company.
So what?
A month later.
So what? Month later, you were supposed to be out. Why weren't you out in June?
Because he didn't follow his agreement either.
Why weren't you out in June?
Because our house wasn't ready that we were moving to. And
then why didn't you pay rent?
We told him we were moving, and he said that...
Just a second, I don't understand something. Just a minute. Miss Thomas, if what you're telling me is that you moved and that's why you didn't pay rent, that's fine. What you're telling me now is that you told him you were moving, but you didn't move because your house wasn't ready and you didn't pay rent. Just a second.
Okay.
Let's get to objective facts.
Okay.
Miss Thomas.
Okay.
Who is this?
This is my daughter, Heather.
All right. Is she a witness?
Yes, she is.
Fine. Then, unfortunately, she has to stay here.
That's fine.
If you live in an apartment or a house that doesn't belong to you, pursuant to a lease, if you live there, you have to pay rent.
I agree.
I don't want to hear any baloney about why you didn't pay rent.
I never said I didn't know it. I owe him for May and June.
Oh, well, that's not what you're saying here.
I have it.
Just a second. I don't see in here that that's what you say, that you owe him for May and June. Let me see. In June, we could no longer afford the premises. That's what you wrote in your answer. That's what you swore to.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we found out that my husband was being transferred in the latter part of July.
Yes, ma'am.
What does that have to do with May and... Stop playing with your papers. So that has nothing to do with May and June's rent.
I agree. I mean, we owe May. We owe May and June.
Let's move on. We informed the plaintiff that we would be moving, and Mr. Lane was not very happy. He said that if we paid half of May's rent, he would refund our deposit when we moved. However, the money we had given him when we moved in was enough to cover up our rent until July, so we weren't going to pay him anymore. You got a whole bunch of excuses here, and you can't seem to keep your story straight. You lived there in May, you lived there in June, you lived there in July, and you didn't pay rent. Nowhere in your answer do you say, well, I do owe him for May and June.
I've always said I owed him, even in the court doc.
Would you do me a favor, please, Bird? would you show this answer, this sworn answer that she signed to her, and ask her, maybe I missed it, you know, I don't know how I scored in reading. Show me in your answer where you say you acknowledge that you owe him for 2 months' rent.
I never acknowledged that I owed him for 2 months' rent.
Until now. Oh, fine. Fine, then we get it now. Now you owe him for 2 months' rent.
Well, I also acknowledged when we went to Brevard County Courthouse that I owed him for 2 months' rent.
Just a second. I'm not talking about any place else that you went when he tried to get you evicted. I'm talking about small claims court, which is where you are. So you forgot to put that down in your answer that you owe him for 2 months' rent.
Okay.
Is that right? You forgot.
Yes,
fine. You owe him for 2 months' rent.
Yes,
so your rent was $1,250 times 2 is $2,500. So that you owe him. That you acknowledge you owe him.
Yes,
is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You gotta pay your bills, madam. If you don't pay your bills, bad things happen. They turn off your lights, they turn off your water, they turn off your electricity. That's what happens when you don't pay your bills.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Larry Lane says ex-tenant Kay Thomas owes for 3 months' rent. Larry says Kay is a squatter.
Now, when did you start eviction proceedings against her?
I attempted to start eviction proceedings in May.
So you already knew that this was a lost cause with these people?
I didn't believe it was a lost cause, Your Honor.
Well, then why would you choose to evict them?
I put a 3-day notice on her door precautionarily.
Sir, they owe you $2,500 for the 2 months' rent.
What about July, Your Honor?
Shh. Just a minute.
Okay.
Now, did you get first month's rent and last month's rent?
I did, Your Honor.
Just a second. Listen to me. The last month's rent would have been July. Is that right, Mr. Lane?
Yes, ma'am.
What about the security deposit?
Well, Your Honor, there was extensive damage to my home and legal fees.
How much were your legal fees?
$691.
Okay. And what kind of damage was done to the home?
Well, Your Honor, the screens on all windows were damaged. All the blinds were damaged.
Do you have any photographs?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
I'd like to see them, please.
I also have receipts for blinds.
How did these windows get broken?
Can I see those pictures? I haven't seen them.
Sure.
Thank you. Your Honor, I have pictures also.
I'd like to see them.
Before we moved in and the day we moved out. Would you like to see those?
I would.
These are the 2 screens that he's claiming on the kitchen. That's the 31st. You can see that those are not broke. Living room blind, kitchen. And the other one that we admitted to. These are the 2 that we admitted to as far as the blinds go. The dates are on them, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, so I have broken blinds.
And can I clarify something really quick? He said that me, my husband, and my daughter moved into the house. I have 2 daughters, and he met them both. He also came 2 days before he left for Bay City, Michigan. He came to my house, my last residency, unannounced, but he came.
You mean the new place?
The old place. Prior to moving to his residency, I lived in Cocoa Beach, and he came to my residency 2 days before I signed the lease with him.
Yeah.
He's talking about me moving my brother and my sister-in-law in. He met them. He knew them. He knew they were going to be staying there with us for a month or so till they found their own place.
Mr. Lane?
Yes, ma'am.
Defendant acknowledges at this juncture that she owes you 2 months' rent. I would take that and be happy.
What about the furniture she stole?
Now let's get to the furniture.
All right.
Show me pictures of the furniture.
I can't. I can only show you receipts, Your Honor, because I'm
What furniture did you take, Miss Thomas? You indicate that you took some stuff from the house.
I didn't take anything. I sold it.
You sold it?
Yes, ma'am. I have receipts to that, where I sold it to and how much I sold it for.
Let me see.
The last 2 pages.
Ms. Thomas, why would you sell property that didn't belong to you?
I sold the dining room set and the bedroom set.
Why would you sell property that didn't belong to you?
We had an agreement in the lease for me to purchase it.
You mean you purchased it? Did you purchase it?
No, we did not pay it in full. No, sir. No, ma'am.
Okay. So you had a provision in the lease if you wanted to purchase it, but you didn't purchase it, and yet you sold it.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you can't do that.
I understand that. I did it out of anger because of what he done. He tried to have my electricity cut off.
Your Honor, I have a subpoena from Florida Power and Light showing that I didn't turn her power off.
You tried.
But not only had she given him a false security number to get her power, she bounced checks on him, and that the power was turned off. And here it is, Your Honor,
Can I see it, please?
Along with the subpoena.
Fine.
She also gave him a false address where she was moving to send the final bill. I corrected it for Florida Power and Light so they can collect from this deadbeat.
Shh. You owe money?
Yes, I'm paying them $75 a month. Yes, ma'am.
For money that you owe them?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you gotta pay your bills, madam. If you don't pay your bills, bad things happen. They turn off your lights, they turn off your water, they turn off your electricity. That's what happens when you don't pay your bills. Listen, you can't sell property that doesn't belong to you.
That.
You didn't pay your electric bill. That's why you're paying $75 to make up what you owe them.
Your Honor, her lights were turned off June 26th. Okay.
Not interested in that. How much is this stuff worth, sir? Dining room table with a hutch, a wicker bedroom set.
King-size bed.
King-size bed?
Armoire.
How much did she agree to pay in the lease for the things that she sold?
She was going to pay $50 a month, but never consummated that.
No. Mr. Lane.
She was going to pay $50 a month and the balance on conclusion of the lease.
Okay,
the lease agreement
$50 a month.
Paragraph 22,
times
page
12 is $600.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the balance upon the termination of the lease, what was the furniture sold for, Mr. Lane?
The furniture was sold for $1,250.
$1,250 in total. Is
Yes,
that right?
Your Honor. Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Then that's what you owe him.
I understand that. Never said I didn't owe him for it.
Yes, you did. Show her the answer. She said the stuff he left in the house was a bunch of junk.
I was referring to
just a second.
I was referring to the refrigerator.
Show me in here where
It's
you
not in
acknowledge that you owe him money for the furniture that you sold.
It's not in there, ma'am.
Right. It's not in there.
I was referring to the refrigerator.
Mr. Lane,
yes, ma'am.
I would like you to give me whatever proof you have that the Thomas family are squatters and scammers.
Please.
So far, I would tend to agree with you.
Your Honor, I did a background investigation, and I should have done this prior to it, but my grandson was in a hospital. This shows that she was evicted. This is a background investigation from the internet that shows 6 bad checks and cable fraud.
Anything else?
Yes, I do. She currently is in Bradenton, Florida, in a diversion program for first-time offenders for bad checks. And I don't know about anything else, Your Honor. I just knew
Is that all correct? Are you
the bad checks, yeah, a bad check, yes, ma'am. It was the first-time offender where I wrote a bad check, yes, ma'am.
It was the first time you got caught.
No. No, it's
it was the first time you got caught.
Your Honor, this account...
I don't understand you, Miss Thomas. I don't understand why you believe... How old are you?
19.
Ma'am.
Well, you know, she's not a baby, so she can be here.
Your Honor, this
Listen.
account was written on a closed account, which she alleged somebody had given her a check.
You already gave him a bad check.
May I see that
closed
account? May I see that account, please? Yes, ma'am. And I took care of it. As soon as he told me that it had not been paid, I went and gave him the money. Took care of it.
Okay.
Took it out of the account.
I see it.
So
Your
it
Honor,
wasn't
she
that
told me that the check had bounced and yes, ma'am.
Mr. Lane.
Yes,
How long
ma'am.
have you been a landlord?
This was the first time I rented a piece of property, and I must have had stupid written right across my forehead.
That's true.
I understand. Your Honor, I have one other thing I'd like to say briefly.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, there was property in my garage, and when I reported my furniture missing to the police, they said it was a civil matter. They couldn't do anything. But the property that I had in my garage was a side-by-side refrigerator, a Craftsman lawnmower, and a power edger. She disposed of that equipment. I went back down to the police department. They sent me out to her house to inspect again to see if the property was moved indoors or in the backyard. And as I tried to go in, she had me arrested for battery.
He was not arrested, Your Honor. He was never charged.
She filed charges.
I have police reports.
Did you get your refrigerator back?
No. And the other landlord,
You didn't get it back. Did you get anything back that was in the garage?
No, I didn't get anything back.
Where's
Not
the
even
stuff?
the keys to the house.
Where's the stuff? I'm not talking about the keys. Where's the stuff?
Can I explain what led up to that?
No. I just asked you where the stuff is.
It's gone.
What do you mean it's
Mr.
gone?
Brown.
It went to the refrigerator ferry. Where did it go?
We got a junk guy got it because it was no good. The gasket on it was broke. It wasn't keeping the air in. It was leaking water. He left it. He did not want it.
Just a second. When did you get rid of it?
July the 8th.
Well, if it was bothering you, why didn't you get rid of it when you first moved in instead
We
of
were
July the 8th?
we were in the process of cleaning out the house, getting everything done. We had talked to Mr. Brown. He said it was given to you, whatever. Mr. Lane didn't want it. Do whatever you wanted to do with it.
Did you say that to her?
No, ma'am.
We
Of
even
course
cleaned
not.
it out.
Of course not. Well, what you're supposed to do is
also-
I'm speaking.
Yes,
What you're supposed to do is stop making excuses.
I'm not making excuses,
Well,
Your
you
Honor.
did. You made excuses. You made excuses to
But
me.
he's saying I destroyed his house. He inspected the house on July the 21st.
I'm not talking about the inspection of the house. I'm talking about several things. I'm talking about the rent that you owed him.
I agree.
For $2,500.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm talking about the furniture that you agreed to buy, which you didn't buy, which you sold.
Yes, ma'am.
So you owe him $1,250. I'm talking about the merchandise that was in the garage that you disposed of the same month that you moved out. The same month that you moved out. You didn't say to me, listen, he had all this junk in the garage and I was paying for the garage, so when we moved in, I got some junk guy to come over and get rid of it. You disposed of it the same month that you were moving. Ms. Thomas, you did the wrong thing. And what you're supposed to do, put that down. What you're supposed to do when you do the wrong thing, especially if you have a child here, is you're supposed to say, I did the wrong thing.
I did. I meant I did that.
Well, you didn't admit it to me in the answer. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000.
Versus Mora. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Everybody have seats.
Mr. Herzig, you were retained by Mr. and Mrs. Mora, according to your complaint, to be the DJ at their son's bar mitzvah.
Correct.
They gave you a $500 deposit.
Correct.
The balance due of $650. According to your complaint, you went to the bar mitzvah, you performed your service, the Moras gave you a check for $650.
Correct.
And then they stopped payment on the check.
Yes, ma'am.
You want your money.
Yes.
Mr. and Mrs. Mora say that your services were not up to standard, that they feel as if they didn't get what they had contracted for, that you ruined their son's bar mitzvah. In addition to ruining their son's bar mitzvah, you slandered and defamed them by writing letters to the temple, by walking around with placards outside. I don't know what you said. And they're suing you for a refund of their $500 deposit, as well as another $4,500 for their aggravation.
Correct.
Okay. Where was the bar mitzvah?
Desert Shores Community Center, the same location that my young witness had his bar mitzvah.
Okay. And how many people did you have at the bar mitzvah?
Approximately 100.
When did you retain Mr. Herzig?
Approximately 2 months before,
Okay.
2 to 3 months before the event.
Do you have the contract?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd
It
like to
was
see it,
actually December 16th, 2004.
And when was the bar mitzvah?
January 30th, 2005.
Okay. Would you show this to Mr. and Mrs. Moore and ask them whether they recognize signature on that and whose signature it was on the contract?
Yep, I have the same one in my...
Yes.
Okay, so that's the contract.
Yes.
No. And you showed up.
Absolutely. Ready to do a job.
Showed up, and how many hours were you there?
I arrived at 4 o'clock p.m. Set up time from 4 o'clock to 5:30. At 5:30, start music.
And when did you finish?
9:30.
Between 5:30 and 9:30, did anyone approach you and indicate that they were dissatisfied with what was going on?
Ms. Moore came up and said, I'm unhappy the music being played right now. It was during the dinner time. And I said, no problem, we'll promptly change it, which we did.
So other than that one time that Mrs. Moore came up to you during the course of the evening, did either of them come up and say that there was anything wrong with what you were doing?
Later on at about 8:40, maybe 9 o'clock, Ms. Moore came up and asked, she had given me originally that evening 4 additional notes to perform and to say, as I remember, something about one of them being guest had graduated from college. But there were a couple, how about those announcements? And I said, we've already made the announcements. I didn't know if she was in the room.
Can I add to that?
I'm going to get to you in a second. Okay. When did you get your check for $650?
After we put the equipment back into the van, we sat down at the table with Ms. Moore and we requested our check and we started just kibitzing a little about the evening, and that was it.
She gave you the check?
Yes, ma'am. Wrote the check right then and there.
Did she say at that point anything to you about your service that evening?
Word zero, which meant...
Okay. Don't tell me what he's going to tell me.
Okay.
You say word zero.
Word zero.
Okay, who's going to speak?
I'd like to say.
Okay.
Okay. When I originally hired Alan to be my DJ, I had interviewed a few DJs. And one mentioned that he was going to have a disco ball for lighting, which, you know, I would like for my son to have something special. And he said, oh, that's outdated. I have sophisticating lighting. I have speakers with that blink, and I have, you know, and I was excited because I thought, wow, I'm going to have that. That was not at the party. That's what initially, after I watched the tape of the bar mitzvah, or it was even before then, I said to my husband, was there lighting? And there was no lighting. The montage that he made for me, that he was professionally supposed to do.
I don't know what, could you stop hitting the table?
I'm sorry.
At the table.
The montage of?
A video montage that he supplied a projection screen that he told me he was going to add magic to. I scanned all the pictures at home on my computer and handed him a disc. He just added music to it, and he told me he was going to spin the pictures and do his magic to my pictures. And I have a copy of that here that I'd like you to see. That within the first 4 pictures, there was a slag in between the pictures. As a professional, after making a tape of this sort, he should have viewed it before he showed it to my guests. There was a slag, and everybody thought the tape was over after the first 4 pictures.
The sound system was inadequate. We had music cues for people as they were to come out and be introduced that never went off. We didn't know he was going to have a 12-year-old child as his DJ, training
he told me
him
he was going to have an
at
assistant.
our bar mitzvah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He said he would bring an assistant. We didn't know it would be a young child that he would be given on-the-job training during our affair.
He trained his son throughout the.
So
I have it on tape also.
That was quite embarrassing for us, and our guests couldn't believe it. We had certain music that he left at
my
home.
My father was an entertainer who had passed, and I wanted my family to hear my father's music while we're eating. I brought the tape. He didn't even bring it to the bar mitzvah. He had to call his wife to bring the tape to the bar mitzvah.
Did she bring it?
She brought it, but it was stressful to me.
Now you've told me the story.
Some of it.
Shh. Now you've told me the story, and now I'd like to know why you gave him a check for $650 at the end of the evening.
My husband wrote
First of all, he's not telling the truth. I'm the one that gave him the check, not my wife.
I don't care who gave me the check. You gave him the check.
He came over. He said, it's time to settle up. We still had guests around. I didn't want to cause a scene. It was a Very big day, a lot of excitement. Took out my checkbook, I wrote him the check just to get it over with, and we went home and discussed it, and we got several complaints from guests. People called us, they emailed us, they told us the next day or two how awful things were.
I want to see those emails. I want, just a second, listen to me very carefully, Mr. Mora. I want to see the emails from your guests telling you how awful the bar mitzvah was.
I have.
Okay.
I'd like to see them.
Okay.
You have those letters?
Those are some letters, but I want her to read.
I want to see a letter.
I'll give it to them.
I just want to see an email. Oh, this is terrible. This is not what I want.
Okay.
This is not what I want. And this is not what I want. And this is not what I want. Did you understand English? English is, I want to see emails that your guests sent to you the day after the bar mitzvah telling you how horrible the bar mitzvah was. These are letters.
Okay.
These are letters 6 months later that you solicited from people saying, I was present at the Mora bar mitzvah and would like to make some comments about what I observed.
Well, she just printed it out that day.
Listen to me, madam. On your best day, you're not as smart as I am on my worst day.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Tell me one Bubba Mice, I find everything else that you say suspect. So that's a grandma story.
Oh, I know the Bubba Mice.
That's a Bubba Mice, a grandma story. It means it's an untruth.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Alan Herzig says former client Bonnie Moore owes for his DJ services. Bonnie claims Alan did a poor job. She is countersuing for defamation of character.
What I want to see is a guest at a bar mitzvah, because I've been to more bar mitzvahs in my day than you have, and I've made more.
Okay.
I have never had a guest that wrote me a letter or sent me an email telling me how horrible the function was because of the DJ. So when you said to me, I got emails the next day telling me how horrible the function was,
I didn't say
that's not true. That's not true.
Don't argue with her.
No guest at a Jewish bar mitzvah tells their host and hostess what a terrible time they had. Now, solicited, you can get letters from people telling you that they thought that the DJ was awful. Call a guest and say, I'm going to court, and I want you to tell me, or I'm having a discussion or a dispute with it. Put your hand down. You tell me one Bubba Misa. You know what that means?
Yes.
Good. You tell me one Bubba Misa, I find everything else that you say suspect. So that's a grandma story.
Oh, I know the Bubba Mice.
That's a Bubba Mice, a grandma story. It means it's an untruth. It means what grandmas tell when they tend to fabricate. So nobody wrote you the next day or 2 days later or 3 days later what a terrible time they had at your son's bar mitzvah because of the music.
Your Honor, excuse me.
Don't speak to me yet.
Okay.
So the answer to the question is, you gave him a check the day of the bar mitzvah because you didn't want to create a scene at the bar mitzvah. And then you were talking amongst yourselves. Not because you got emails from anybody the next day, because that's a lie, or the day after that, and you decided to stop payment on the check, right?
Right.
Now, after you stopped payment on the check, Mr. Herzig called you.
Right.
When you called him, what did Mr. Mora tell you?
My wife was unhappy with your performance.
And?
And we are not paying you, and we don't want to hear from you again. We've dusted our hands of you.
Was that the end of the conversation?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have any subsequent conversation with him?
I tried to.
So what did you do, Mr. Herzig? Because that's the second part of their complaint for which they want $4,500.
I sent them eventually I sent them an email. I left messages. I needed
I'm not talking about what you sent to them. They are complaining that you slandered them.
I sent them an email. That was the slander.
He wrote letters to all the religious leaders in the community with
You have
this
copies?
case.
Do you have copies of the letters?
And
Shh, just a second. Do you have copies of the letters that he sent?
I have one copy with CC's underneath.
Fine, I'd like to see it.
This was registered to me.
Okay.
He also sent a letter to the owner of the Israelite, which is the Jewish paper here in Las Vegas. I have a letter also from...
He carried a picket sign in front of our school,
And
religious school.
Shh, just a second.
Okay.
Is this what you're talking about? This.
He sent that whole package.
Shh, just a second.
Yes.
This says.
He sent that to Mike, the owner.
Okay. And it says, how about a headline like Bonnie and Paul Morris stiffed their MC DJ?
Yes.
Well, that's what you did.
Okay.
That's what you did.
Okay.
You wrote
I
him a
don't think
check.
that he should be
Listen to me.
telling
You wrote him a check.
the newspaper that.
You listen to me. You wrote him a check, and then you stopped payment on the check. That means he got stiffed.
Disc jockey Alan Herzig claims client Bonnie Moore owes for services rendered. Bonnie is countersuing, claiming Alan slandered her.
Mr. Herzig says in this letter that he spent substantial time in your house helping you get the pictures scanned. Is that true?
He agreed that I told him I just bought the scanner. He agreed to come over and do that. But he just showed me how to do it. I already knew. Go ahead.
Listen to me. The answer is he came over to your house, which is not contained in this contract, to help you scan the pictures into a scanner. Not contained in here. He did it because he was being...
Yes, he was. Very nice to do that, although his price
Fine.
was outrageous to begin with anyway.
Mrs. Herzog, that's an untruth. He was charging you $1,150 to perform at your event, which included this montage of pictures. And if you're telling me that that's an outrageous price, you should have hired somebody else. I'm telling you it's not an outrageous price.
Okay. Well,
okay. And I'm still trying to find slander worth slander at all.
I don't think any of my business should be brought to the attention of my four rabbis he sent it to in the newspaper.
Listen, what you think is one thing. He could have been a nice person and not sent it to anybody else. But he chose not to do that. That's not actionable.
Going to the school at checkout time with a poster that says I owe him money, and I have a letter here from the receptionist.
Listen to me.
Did you want to
He has a right. I'm not looking at a letter. He has a right to do that. You do owe him money. That's not libelous. That's something that's untrue. You do owe him money.
Okay. I believe he did a job. I think it was inferior.
Just a second. Then you don't use him again. Let us say that you go out for a meal, Mrs. Mora, with your husband and your family, and you go to a new restaurant, and you eat at the restaurant. You finish everything on your plate. And you get back in your car that evening, and you say, you know, they advertise this restaurant as having the best ribs in town. And the truth is, I don't like those ribs as well as I like the rib guy at the end of the street. So I played by credit card, and I'm going to cancel my credit card, despite the fact that I ate the ribs, paid the bill, and I didn't like the way the waiter spoke to me, so I'm going to cancel that charge on my credit card. You think you'd get very far, Mrs. Mora? Zero. So if you don't like the restaurant, the next time you're going out for dinner, go someplace else. It's not as if Mr. Herzig didn't show up. It's not as if you got somebody else to play instead of him. You allowed him to start at 5:30, finish at 9:30. I am absolutely 100% positive that people clapped to the music, danced if they danced to the music.
They didn't.
Were on the dance floor. Maybe not everybody. Some people were on the dance floor during the course of the event. In any event, you used his services. You ate his ribs. When you stopped payment on his check, you had no right to do that. You stiffed him, you stole his money, and then you said, you don't like it? Sue me. Which is what he's doing. He wanted to embarrass you. I assume he embarrassed you. That's too bad. What he was saying is true. He's allowed to embarrass you. You have anything else you want to say?
Yes, how about he promised me the lighting system, the sound system was bad. I have on tape.
No, madam, I want you to take a look at your contract. And I want you to show me in your contract where it's in the contract.
No, it's...
Listen to me. That's what you are bound by.
Okay.
The four corners of the contract. I want you to show me, Miss Mora, in the contract where it says that he's going to supply you with a lighting system.
Well, how about the sound system here?
Listen to me. I said, show me in the contract, in the four corners of the contract, where he says he's going to supply you with a lighting system.
That was my mistake, not having him write it, I guess.
You're absolutely right. What kind of business are you in, sir?
Hotel.
What kind of business in the hotel?
Casino.
What do you do in the casino?
I'm a department manager.
Okay. You know about contracts?
A little bit.
Good. Well, you have to explain that to your wife, sir. Anything that's within the four corners of the contract, or what courts consider if you sue him. If you said to me he didn't show up until 7 o'clock, and I find that he didn't show up until 7 o'clock, that means he gets docked. The fact that you didn't like the ribs is, as we say in French, bad. Next time, do you have another bar mitzvah that you're planning? Don't use Mr. Herzig. He doesn't want you to use him. They owe you $650.
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff and your counterclaims dismissed. That's all.
Thank you.
What is the excuse? You may step out. Sir, have a seat.
Mr. Tumber, this is your former wife and her present husband. And the two of you have been divorced for some time. You have a 17-year-old son. I assume that that is this young man over here.
That's
is
correct.
that right?
Mm-hmm.
According to the complaint that I've read, recently, after your divorce and after your former wife was remarried, she ran into some financial difficulty and called you and asked you for a loan. You obliged, according to you, advanced her some money, I think $750.
That's correct.
You want the money back.
Correct.
And in addition, your former wife and her husband purchased a car for your son.
Correct.
And you invested some money in that car in repairing it.
Correct.
Then you decided to buy your son a newer car. And according to you, there was an understanding that they would reimburse you when they sold the old car for the money that you had invested in it so that you could sort of put it towards the new car that you were buying for him.
Correct.
They sold the car and they didn't give you the money that you had invested in it.
Correct.
So you also want that money.
Correct.
Okay. When did your former wife call you for this initial loan?
It was around the beginning of this year, but around January.
What happened? You ran into some
2004.
financial difficulty?
The financial difficulty wasn't about me necessarily. It was regarding my son and expenses that we had with the car, with medical, and with a phone bill.
What do you mean the car? What kind of expenses?
Okay, the car that we purchased for my son was a car that we knew...
I don't care what you knew. You had expenses because you had to have it fixed?
Yes.
And how much did you need to have the car fixed?
There were different parts that we needed to buy. My husband did the repairs.
So you spent some of the money that he gave you to fix the car?
Correct.
How much?
The total that we spent on the repairs, just the parts alone of the receipts I could find,
yes,
was $224.03.
$224 to fix the car?
For the parts.
Fine. I don't care what your husband's labor was. That's not important to me. What else did you need money for?
My son had a cell bill.
Who bought him a cell phone?
I did.
So why was it your former husband's responsibility?
It wasn't, except for my son went over the minutes and he did this more than one occasion.
Did your former wife tell you, Mrs. Satango, tell you that this money she was asking you for was for your son?
No, Your Honor, she
What did
didn't.
she tell you?
It was for mortgages on the home that she was in arrears of.
Were you in arrears on your mortgage?
I was never in arrears on my mortgage.
Did you tell him that you needed money to pay your mortgage?
I told him that I couldn't pay the mortgage and everything else, that my son's cell bill was so much money, my son's medical bills that the insurance didn't cover was so much money.
You pay child support, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
How much do you pay?
Just shy of $600 a month, I believe.
Okay. How much money did you
Your
give?
Honor, that's not true.
How much does he give you?
$370 a month.
How do you account for the discrepancy, Mr. Tumba?
I'm not sure how much I pay, to be honest with you, Your Honor.
So why don't you say, I'm not sure? I don't know is something
Yeah,
that a man can say.
I don't know.
3 little words.
I don't know.
Don't know.
Correct, thank you.
Well, you should know how much child support you pay. Do you pay it pursuant to income deduction order?
Yes.
So it comes right out of your pay?
Right out of my check, yes.
So it's not 600, it's 370 a month, according to you. Is that what you receive, or do you receive more if there is some in arrears?
$370 a month, Your Honor.
Period?
Period.
Okay, fine. How much money did you loan to her, sir?
$750.
Oh, that's not true, Your Honor.
Show me.
Your Honor, I'd like to
You have a
submit.
check?
Yes.
Let me see it,
Canceled checks with her signature on them.
Your Honor, he could have written anything in after the fact.
No, I'm just looking at the canceled checks, madam. And I'm even looking for the memo. The memo is irrelevant. You owe him $750. I think it's very nice that you can call him and say, listen, I ran into some financial difficulties and I need some money and your son lives with me, so could you do it for me?
But, Your Honor, that's not how it happened.
Did you sell the car? We're
Yes,
going to
we
get to the
sold the
car
car.
now.
But-
Just a second. We're going to get to the car. You and your husband bought a car, and you bought a car for your son. And according to you, some of the money that you got from him was used to fix the car.
Correct.
Right. Then you sold the car.
Correct.
How much money did you give him? I just answer my question. How
Zero.
much money did you give him? Zero. How much did you sell the car for?
$1,000.
Well, if he paid for the parts to fix the car, why didn't you think it was appropriate that if he was buying your son a new car, for you not to at least reimburse him for what he had spent? Don't you think that that's appropriate? Fair? Reasonable? If I believe you, Mrs. Satango, if I believe you, you were able to call your former husband and say to him, despite the fact that you are under a court order and pay child support, it's not enough. Because I have some bills that I'm having trouble paying for our son. He went over his minutes on a cell phone that I bought him. That's not his fault. You choose to buy him a cell phone, 17-year-old kid, and he's not responsible enough? That's not his father's problem because you provided him with the vehicle to be irresponsible. But he was, according to you, he was a nice guy and said, here's the money. According to you, he was a nice guy when you say, I had to fix the car and I need some parts. According to you, he was a nice guy, gave you the money. According to you, despite the fact that he pays child support and is not in arrears, he had some unreimbursed medical bills, and he said, here's the money. So I'm asking you, if he was a nice guy, how come when you sold the car and he was buying him a new car, you didn't say, here's the money that you laid out for the parts?
The car was bought because the car that we bought for my son wasn't good enough, wasn't cool enough. They bought the car. I had nothing to do with that, neither did my husband. We have endured financial difficulty. We did not say that we were going to give him the money. It wasn't for my son to barter. It wasn't for him to barter. We paid the mortgage with the money, and that's the circumstance we're under right now.
So why didn't you just say that to me instead of giving me a whole lot of who shot John? You paid the mortgage. You borrowed money from him and paid a mortgage.
I thought you knew that. I'm sorry.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're supposed to be responsible. You're supposed to be moral. You're supposed to be a moral example for your child. You are not.
I am not?
No, you are not.
And later today,
The only thing that saved my dog's life is the fact that she's 90 pounds.
I saw the dogs basically tearing it apart.
If she had been a smaller dog, the injuries would have killed her.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Paul Tumber says ex-wife Stephanie Sotenko owes for a loan and for proceeds from the sale of their son's vehicle.
Listen, you're a nice guy and she owes you $750 because I believe it was a loan. Now, you tell me about the contract that you say you had with her with regard to paying you back for the money that you invested in the old car.
Okay, well, the verbal contract was that when the vehicle was sold, that I would recoup the money for the parts for the repairs, which I have canceled checks for right here.
Can I see them, please?
And
who
there
did you
never
make
was
this,
a
who did
mention-
you make?
I'm sorry?
Who did you make this contract with, sir?
With Stephanie.
Can I say something, Your Honor, or do I need to speak in turn? Or
No, now you tell me.
As far as the car, how many fathers give money toward repairs of their son's car and then ask for it back after the car is sold?
Well, let me tell you what usually happens. Usually, if boy has a car and if he wants a better car, and his parents, they are reasonable, say, listen, we'll sell this car, we'll use whatever money we get from this car, we'll put it towards another car. That's what parents do. What you did was you took money from your former husband, because these are your canceled checks.
I didn't take money
yes,
toward the
no, yes, you did.
Your Honor, I did not ask him for the money for the parts for the car. He willingly gave me that money.
Because he's a nice guy.
So he was a nice guy and
Just
did
a
that
second,
for
he said
our
that.
son.
Just a second, he's a nice guy.
And
you're supposed to be responsible. You're supposed to be moral. You're supposed to be a moral example for your child. You are not.
I am not?
No, you are not. You are not.
Okay.
Because if he is being a nice guy, what you're supposed to be is a moral example for your son and say, listen, we sold the car for $1,000. You put in practically that. I'm speaking. You put in practically that. I'll be more than happy to give that money towards the new car so that we will jointly, in some way, have contributed to the car that our son is driving. You chose not to do that. You owe him the money for the repairs to the car because I believe you had an agreement if you sold the car to give him back that money. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,595. That's it.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Ladies are excused. You may step out.
If I had had the money, morally, I would have given the money.
I'm in a financial position. I don't make a lot of money, that I just wanted my funds back.
I didn't really want to be here, but I guess it's the best way to do it.
It's no love lost between my son and I.
Be sure that you know what and who you're dealing with.
Did we learn anything today? I don't really think so.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Valerio versus Gunderson, step forward.
Customer service rep Summer Valerio is suing fellow dog owner, 21-year-old customer service rep Gabe Gunderson for vet bills. Summer says Gabe's pit bull attacked her dog.
Ms. Valerio, you claim that the defendant's dog injured your dog during a fight.
Yes.
And you want the defendant to pay the vet bills.
Correct.
For your dog. Mr. Gunderson says that there was a dog fight. Your dog got the worst of the fight, and your dog shouldn't have been there anyway. So you'll explain that to me. What kind of a dog do you have?
She's a Mastiff Lab mix.
That's a big dog?
Yes.
And where was the dog?
In March of 2004, I made arrangements with Janice Rawson to keep my dogs at her house because she had just bought a house, and me and my boyfriend at the time broke up, and I was moving into a condo and didn't feel it was fair to take my two large dogs to a condominium with me. So she agreed to keep the dogs, and I continued to pay for their food and their vet bills while they were in her care until I made new living arrangements.
Just a second. So you left your dogs with this lady in March. Step up. What's your name?
My name is Janice Rawson.
You have a large piece of property?
It's a house with a yard.
You have your own dogs?
No.
What kind of dogs? One was a Mastiff mix, and what was the other?
Pit Bull Boxer mix.
Also, big dog.
Yes.
Who else lives in your house?
At the time when I moved in, it was Jeffrey, her now husband, and Dustin.
Jeffrey, her now husband.
The
Valerio.
boyfriend I had
I'm sorry.
separated from. And then we got back together and got married. But it was a temporary separation. He was living with her with the dogs there at the time.
Oh. So not only did you place your dogs with her, but you placed your ex-boyfriend there too.
Yes.
Now, tell me about Mr. Gunderson.
Mr. Gunderson moved in with me when Summer...
What do you do, rent rooms?
Yes. I have
Okay.
a 4-bedroom house.
Okay, so you rented a room
Yes.
to him. Okay.
Mr. Gunderson moved in with me when Jeffrey moved in with Summer and they got married, and then I rented a room to Gabe.
So Mr. Gunderson moved in with a...
Male pit bull.
So now you have 3 dogs in your house.
3 dogs.
Is that the dog that injured her dog?
No, that's a separate dog.
Well, where did the separate dog come from?
We went on vacation to San Diego. We were told by
Who's
Jeffrey. Me, Janice, a different group of friends of ours. We were told by Jeffrey before we left on a certain date the dogs would be gone. We get back from San Diego, I'd pick up the dog who got
Picked
into
up
the
what
fight.
dog?
The dog that's the reason why we're here, the one that attacked her dog. Or
You
got
mean a
into fight
second
with
dog?
us.
You picked
The
up a second dog.
Right. Picked that dog up. I got home, found out that Jeff and Summer did not live up to their end of the bargain as far as taking those dogs back like we were told.
Your Honor. Well, why did you need a second dog?
I asked Janice, I wanted a female so I can breed. I asked Janice, she said that'd be fine.
Is that right?
Yes, but the condition was that he could only get the second dog when her dogs were gone, and it wasn't an exact date of when they were going to take the dogs back. It was a hopeful date. So he should have made sure that the dogs were gone before he actually picked up the pit bull.
Well, he didn't. So on what date did you pick up the pit bull?
October 9th.
And what date was this fight that caused the injury to Miss Valerio's dog?
On the 28th, same month.
So why didn't you tell me how to get rid of the dog?
Well, I like dogs, and it's not, you know, and the family who had the dog before couldn't keep the dog, and so it didn't really have anywhere to go back to except for the pound, and I didn't want to see that happen, so...
Okay, so you allowed him to keep the dog there. Fine.
Yes.
Now tell me about the fight.
My other witness here is the one that broke up the dog fight and basically saved my dog's life.
Is that right?
Yes.
Good. Between the 9th of October and the day that this happened, did you visit your dogs?
Yes, and I actually, a couple weekends prior, had taken Justice to my house for the weekend. I would take her sometimes for 3 or 4 days at a time.
So you knew he had both dogs there?
Yes, but I did not know that that dog had a history of being aggressive. He, on the other hand, did.
Were you home when Miss Valerio's dog was injured?
No, no.
You were? Step up. Tell me your name. Miss Rossen, you may sit down.
Noelle Cook.
I'll hear you.
Okay. I was at home, and I just heard the dogs fighting in the backyard, and I went to look over the fence, and I saw the dogs, his female and kind of his male. His male kept coming in and out of the fight. They had her dog pinned on the ground and basically tearing it apart.
And I have pictures, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it.
And also her vet bills and her medical records.
I'd like to see the pictures first.
If I may say, the vet did say that the only thing that saved my dog's life is the fact that she's 90 pounds. If she had been a smaller dog, the injuries would have killed her.
Mr. Gunderson, you understand, sir, that sometimes pit bulls have been known to be aggressive dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
How did you find out about the dog?
They lived actually across the street from a friend of mine. I've seen them before, saw an ad in the paper. I called them, found out that it was the same people. So I've talked to them. I've seen the dog before, been around the dog before. It wasn't a big issue.
Did they have children?
They have 1 kid, yes.
And they felt that the dog was not appropriate to live with it.
Well, they have 2 other dogs.
Look at me.
Oh, they have 2 other
They felt
dogs.
that the dog was not appropriate to live with them. Otherwise, what reason do you have to get rid of a dog?
Yeah, well,
If you have other dogs. It's not an allergy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Gunderson, pay careful attention. I'm very smart. This dog, you knew that the dog had had some problems. Is that right?
Right.
Who do you think is responsible, therefore, for a dog that has had certain problems in the past when the dog attacks again?
The owner of that dog.
That's you.
Mm-hmm.
you were aware of the dog's previous problems with the prior owner. Why you would choose to take a dog that had had problems, I don't know. And why you would choose to breed a dog that had prior problems, I for sure don't know. You have an answer to either of those questions?
I knew about the situation. I explained to Janice before I even got the dog.
I'm not talking about Janice. I'm asking you why you would choose to take a dog that had problems.
Because it had nowhere to go, so I took it.
And why, if it had nowhere else to go when you know the dog has certain character problems, why would you choose to breed a dog like that?
It's one fight. I didn't think it'd be a big deal, to be honest.
Well,
I've
now
been around.
you know better, right?
Yeah.
Good. Now I'll see the vet bills. That was easy.
Your Honor, each page is an individual invoice. The total actually came to what I wrote on the front. And she had to be kept in the hospital for 7 days.
Do you understand, sir? We all make certain choices when we get a pet. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to choose a pet that doesn't have violent propensities. You chose a pet that you knew had had problems enough so that a prior owner was looking to get rid of it. You took it. Not only did you take it, but you made a choice, because one of the reasons that you told me you chose to take this dog is because you wanted to breed it, to propagate whatever character flaws that this dog had. That is stupid. Very stupid. It's going to cost you $2,455.50. That's all. Step out.
Versus Hellinger. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat. You're welcome.
Mr. Bigder, how old are you, sir?
I'm 28 years old, Your Honor.
Is this your wife?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been married?
We've been married for roughly 3 years, almost 4.
You have children
Yes,
with her?
ma'am. I have 2 by my wife, Your Honor.
Your complaint says, sir, that the defendant is the boyfriend of the mother of another of your children. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you married to your wife at the time that this child was conceived?
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
How old is the child that you have with, what's your name?
Selena.
Selena.
She just turned 2, Your Honor.
And this is your complaint, Mr. Bigder. Your complaint is that the defendant assaulted you.
Yes, sir.
And in addition, you claim that you made a small loan to him to cover some insurance payment that he needed. Mr. Hellinger says that you precipitated this argument, and in addition, he is counterclaiming. He alleges that you called Child Protective Services on him on more than one occasion, and in addition, he says that he's been supporting your child, correct?
Yes.
How much child support do you pay, Mr. Bigder?
I paid $36 weekly, court ordered.
Do you pay it every week?
Yes, I do, ma'am. It's taken directly out of my paycheck, Your Honor.
And how much is your paycheck, sir?
My paycheck, it ranges anywhere from $300 to $600, depending on how many hours I work.
Then why do you only pay $36 a week in child support? Put your hand down.
Because that's what the court had ordered, because I have 2 other children and a wife. My wife does not work, so I have...
Why doesn't your wife work?
Because she stays home and takes care of our 2-year-old.
You have another 2-year-old? You are very busy, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why don't you work and earn $600 a week all the time, Mr. Bigder?
Because the paper mill doesn't always have overtime. Some weeks you might work 12-hour days. Some days you just work 8 hours. It varies if we have people that call in or...
Yes.
I worked at the same paper mill, and overtime's always welcome. I left that job because of him. Right now I'm currently climbing trees, so...
For a living?
Yes, I cut trees down. I work for a tree service.
Oh, you cut trees down. You said I climb trees. I said I didn't know that you could make a living doing that.
So when he says that the overtime ain't there, it is always there at that mill. I work there. I also put in tons of hours.
Mr. Bigder, it's outrageous that you only pay $36 a week in child support, sir. I'm telling you that right now. Even if you pay it, she wants to tell me that you don't even pay it. But if you paid it, that's an outrageous figure for you to pay for child support. It's not your child's fault, sir, that you didn't know how to keep your whatever in your pants. That's outrageous. What?
Sorry. I only received $26 out of that 36. 10 of it goes to
the Department of Social Services towards arrears?
Yes.
And the rear support is actually medical bills for Mrs. Catterette for having the baby. It's not rear.
No. It's not medical bills for her, sir. It's the birthing expenses for your child. Because when you make a baby, it has to be born.
Yes, that's what
right? Put your hand down. I don't know why you still tolerate him. Me, I'd be visiting him, you know, and bringing flowers. Now, I'm ready to hear, sir, your tale of woe.
On the beginning of January 2007, I had recommended Justin, because he had not had a job for a while, to the paper mill that I worked at, and they had hired him. And on January 18th, I had loaned the defendant $50 to get his car insured so he could get to and from work. 2 days later, I had also loaned him another $20 so he would have gas money. And at that current time, I was out on disability due to my hand. I had to have carpal tunnel surgery on my right and my left hand. And during that time, things were going good. I had come back to work roughly the end of February. And at the end of February...
So you weren't paid for the entire month of February?
I was paying. I had support reduced, and it was I'm all caught up as we speak.
What'd you have it reduced to? How could they reduce it any lower?
Because it was reduced because I was only bringing home $230 a week due to disability. I have proof of what I had loaned him.
Get on to the... So far, I hear $70, sir.
All right.
$70 from your $26 a week that you pay in child support, not $36. $10 goes for arrears. You acknowledge that. So you pay $26 a week, which is less than $100 a month. You want me to translate that by day, sir? Let me translate that. $26 a week divided by 7 equals $3.71 a day. That's what you pay. Let's move on.
Also, when I had returned back to work on February 26th, Justin Hellinger had assaulted me several times.
Well, I want you to tell me what happened. What's the basis of your claim, sir? Let's hear it.
Pretty much what happened is I try to see my daughter whenever I can, and he does not want me to see my daughter, and he tries to control when I can and when I can't. And he had told me if I call to have any contact, he'd kill me and bury me. On the night of January 13th, Mr. Hellinger had come down to my part of the plant where he should not have been and started having verbal words with me. He told me that he was going to beat me up, and I didn't want to have any time of problem, so I went to turn around, and when I turned around, he had closed his fist and hit me on the left side of my head, 2 centimeters from my temple. And I was taken to the hospital by the employers. I have hospital statements showing.
I'd like to see those, please. Okay. Now, Mr. Hellinger, I'd like you to tell me your version of what happened on the 13th, please.
The bathroom is downstairs in the mill, so I was going down to the bathroom. There's 2 flights of stairs. I went down one flight, he went down the other. We intercepted each other in the middle. It's about a 10, 15-foot hallway. I confronted him about what he was doing to me, why he was calling my house at midnight.
Just a second. When you say you confronted him, what did you say to him?
I said, Kashmir, why do you keep calling my house at midnight, harassing me and my family?
When did he call your house at midnight? Put your hand down!
It was probably the beginning of January when all this...
How many times did he call your house at midnight?
Oh, several.
Who did he speak to?
Her or me when I was there.
What did he say to you when he called at midnight?
Asked how I was doing and if Justin was being good, if I was doing all right and everything was all right between us. Pretty much wanted to know about my relationship with Justin.
Did you ever tell him not to call your house at midnight?
Justin has several times.
Why did you call their house at midnight?
I personally didn't. My wife did. My wife and Selena were good friends, and Selena had asked my wife to call so they could just talk about our child and other things. They were friends, and Mr. Hellinger does not like her being friends with my wife. So she would ask my wife to call late at night when Justin went to work.
I'm asking you, sir.
I have personally never called his house after 10 o'clock. My wife had always done the calling for me because he would not allow me to call.
For you?
He would not allow me to
When
call
your
the
wife called, did you ever get on the phone?
There's been a few times that...
When your wife, just the answer is either yes or no. When your wife placed the call, did you ever get on the phone?
Yes.
That's what he's complaining about. Do you get it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you confronted him about the calls that were coming to your house being made by his wife, but then the phone being turned over to the plaintiff.
Yes.
And what happened next?
He got a little irate, got loud with me.
No. Tell me what he said.
He can do anything he wants. His kid. And if he wants to be with Selena, he can be with her anytime he wants because he can just take her out to the bar and do what he wants to her. And
Put your hand down.
it made me grumpy.
Made you grumpy?
Yes, very grumpy.
Well, probably mildly.
He slandered me. He slandered me through the whole mill, told the mill all my business, told the mill, a lot of the people I worked with, that I was beating her and the kid. I confronted him about that too. He started to come at me, and at that time I just pushed through with him. And I don't know if I hit him in the head or not, but I did.
Well, you did hit him in the head, sir.
I had an open hand. I never closed my hand when I hit him because he's handicapped. I would not hit a handicapped person.
Okay, now I'll hear you.
Yes, Your Honor. I had made a report to the police. He was arrested. I have the arrest.
I'd like
and
to
there
see
was,
it. Now you can stand up.
And I have told people about Justin at the mill, and the reason why I did that is because I fear for my daughter's welfare. That's why I keep persisting. He's a registered 2 sex offender, and it is on the website for everybody to see. I fear for my little girl's life, and so
Yes.
I've been with this little girl for 2 years. My officer said it's fine. I have 2 children of my own. I also get every other weekend. Being around his daughter is no problem to me. I'm not dangerous to anybody. What I've done in my past was my business. The fact, yes, it is. I am registered, but it don't affect my life at all. I have a good job. I work around several 100,000 people a day. I go to people's homes.
Did your prior conviction involve children?
No, it did not. It involved an underage girl, which I did not know her name, or her age, I should say.
How old are you now?
I am 24.
Put your hand down!
I am 24.
24. And when was this conviction?
2 years ago?
2 years ago, when you were 22.
Yes.
And how old was the girl?
16.
Got it. Fine. Not fine legally, but that's a totally different scenario than pedophilia. That's just dumb.
Understood.
And you have too many children, sir, at age 24. If you have 3 children.
Yes.
You too. I don't care how many trees you climb, and I don't care how much pulp you make. Now, you want to say something to me?
The phone calls that were made to Selena were me returning calls and her returning my calls. He did not take the phone every time, only once in a great while.
Listen, he took the phone more than once. Madam, I don't even have to be there to know that he took the phone more than once. Right. Anything else you want to say?
Just that the support issue, we give them money on the side to above what the court orders. We also buy Davina's clothes, Davina's diapers, her wipes, her shoes. And when we do send them home...
Show me receipts.
Right here, where I spend at Walmart off of my bank card.
Show me.
There's a few. There's Walmart there, where we've spent $502 to buy clothes, diapers, wipes, food.
What about for whose children?
For his daughter.
Not for your children?
No, not at that point, no. I buy her things separately.
Baloney. I don't believe a word of what you just said to me. Sit down. You think that I believe that you went and spent $500 on his daughter and none of that?
No, some of it was on his daughter. Not all.
Now, that's better.
I'm sorry, it was my mistake.
You made a mistake.
Yes, I did. I'm sorry.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Kashmir Bigda claims his ex-lover's fiancé, Justin Hellinger, punched him in the head while he was working.
What?
Also, I fear for my child because last summer, roughly June or July, the defendant was also arrested because his girlfriend Selena had left him, and he rolled his car trying to kill himself on purpose. and he had a suicide message left on my machine. I didn't bring that with me today.
Yes.
The fact that I tried to kill myself has nothing to do with
Yes,
his
it does.
child. I was not with him.
Yes,
I
no,
got
listen
help.
To me. Listen to me. That's a legitimate concern.
I understand it is.
Okay? That's a legitimate concern. If you have suicidal thoughts, that's one thing. If you act out those suicidal thoughts and you are around the child, that's a legitimate concern that a parent might have. You get it?
Yep.
Now, I assume that that formed the basis of at least one of the calls to Child Protective Services.
No, it did not.
Did it?
Yes, it did.
How many times did you call Child Protective Services?
3 times.
Tell me about the 3 times.
The one time was when he rolled his car, and Selena, the mother of my child, was worried, so we got together and had called. The second time was when he called my house going irate, and he threatened to kill me and bury me and told me I could not see my child, so I was very concerned about the welfare of my daughter. And the third time was due to him stalking and calling me names and stuff. He had even stooped low. He had convinced his girlfriend to go to the police and report that I had raped her. That's how our daughter was conceived. And the police had come to my house, and she was filed for making a false report and is under community service for trying to have me arrested.
Yes. Is that correct?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay. That's not good. That's not good.
I was highly intoxicated the night that me and Kashmir, conceived my daughter.
So?
I don't remember any of it, and it was not a coerced thing. I went to the police department on my own.
How much after your daughter was born?
6 months, maybe.
So you had 9 months and 6 months? You had 15 months to think about it?
I was not.
Okay. Mr. Hellinger, he was clearly assaulted and you clearly lost your temper. So you have to be responsible for his medical bills.
Your Honor.
What?
I have a unfounded paper from Social Services January 30th that he called on me where I was unfounded.
Yeah, that's okay. He has legitimate concerns about you. Are you getting any help for yourself?
Yes, I am.
Good. You seeing somebody regularly?
Yes, I do.
Put your hand down. Listen, if you think that I find you a sympathetic character, I do not. You were disloyal to your wife. You created a situation that she's going to have to live with and suffer with her whole life if she decides to stay with you. She has 2 children with you. I guarantee you the day that you told her that you had another child the same age as your youngest child was not the happiest day of her life. So if you think that I believe that you're a sympathetic character, I believe that you are an unsympathetic character, sir. As far as the money that you claim you gave him, that hardly makes up for the amount of money he contributes to support your child. So he's going to pay your medical bills, which are roughly $500. Unfortunately, Mr. Hellinger, you want to be compensated for supporting his child. That's your prerogative. If you choose to do that, you do that gratuitously.
That ain't a big problem to me, the harassment.
Fine. And as far as calling Child Protective Services, some of your behavior, sir, is questionable. And I suggest to you, I would continue with the help that you're getting because you probably need it. What?
I also have proof that I lost wages.
I don't care if you lost wages.
When he
Make up for it for the $26 a week that you send to support your child, or $3.71 a day. I'm telling you, sir, you are an unsympathetic person to me. I think that you would like to have control over this situation that you created. Were you drunk the night that she got pregnant?
No, I was not.
Was she?
Yes.
You know how unsympathetic you are? The scale of sympathy for me just went to a -10. So she was drunk, you weren't. You clearly then took advantage of somebody. That a fair statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
So he's going to cover your medical bills, period. It's your $500. What a situation you created, sir. You created this whole situation. I know, because she was drunk. How old are you?
23.
And you?
28.
Goodbye, sir. You get your medical bills. Try to live with each other in peace.
Parties are excused. Step out of Siegfried versus McGeorge. Parties have been sworn. You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Siegfried, it is your complaint that the defendant reneged on an agreement that the two of you had when you entered into a contest. And the contest, which you'll explain to me, had as its prize a car. And you claim that the defendant agreed that if she won the car, she would either sell the car and give you half of the proceeds, but she would share the prize with you, and likewise, if you won, you would share it with her. She, in fact, won the car and refuses to sell it or give you half of its value. That's what the case is about.
Right.
So, this was a good friend of yours?
A very good friend of mine, yes.
Now tell me about the contest.
It was actually put on by a local radio station. The two of us
Where?
In LA. We were going to try to win tickets to see a particular group.
A group? What kind of group?
NSYNC.
I've heard of them.
We were trying to win concert tickets through this radio station, and we had been calling for over a week. We'd been trying very hard to win these tickets, and in the process, through one of the times that we called, Deanna was asked if she would like to participate in another contest that they had running at the same time, which involved sitting in a car for a week. And at that time, I was with Deanna when she was on the phone with the radio station. And
where were you?
We were actually in my car coming home from a mall where we were meeting one of the DJs from the radio station. And we had decided when we left the mall that let's try and win the tickets again. So she continued calling, and at that time, she was asked, would you like to be in a car contest? And her response was, would this make me lose out on winning the tickets to the concert? And they told her yes, that you would not be eligible any longer to win the tickets. And she's like, well, I don't know. And I'm all, just do it. It'd be fun. Just do it. So she's decided now at this point that she's going to be in the contest.
All right. Now, what exactly was the contest?
She was to sit in a car for a week.
Alone?
No, there were other contestants that were going to be participating. The original rules set forth were that the person who stayed in the car the longest would win the car. And when myself and her went down to the contest, I drove her down there. We found out prior to the contest, the beginning, that it would end on Sunday regardless of...
How many people's chochases were still in the car?
There were 2 cars.
Okay.
And in one car there were 4 people, and in our car there was myself, Deanna, and another contestant.
They couldn't get 4 people. They
That's
couldn't
correct.
get 4 lunatics. To
That's
sit
correct.
In the car.
They suckered me into it instead.
Okay, so you got down there with her, and they said, would you like to sit in the car too?
Right. They asked me if I would be interested in staying in the car because they didn't have enough contestants to participate. So they asked me if I would be interested in staying down there. I wasn't very...
Was it the same radio station that was running this contest?
The same radio station, yes, that was giving away the tickets for the concert, yes.
And at the end of the contest, which was going to be that Sunday, if everybody is left in the car, how do they choose a winner?
They drew straws.
They said it would be a drawing.
Right. That's all they said.
Okay. So the 2 of you stayed in the car for the entire week?
Yes, we did.
Is that right?
Yes.
How were you fed?
How were we fed? We were sponsored by a local restaurant that
they just gave you the food in the car?
They brought us meals throughout the day.
And what about potty breaks? How do you do that?
They specified them as 3-hour breaks, and at that time we were able to get out of the car for 15 minutes and do what we needed to do, to stretch and what have you.
And what about sleeping? You just slept whenever?
They slept in the car. I personally did not sleep for 4 days straight, but we slept in the car.
In the car?
In the position that we were sitting in. We were never able to leave the position of the car that we were in.
What if you had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night?
You went in the car.
Seriously?
Nobody actually did that. We never had that come up, but yes, that would have been...
Or you get out.
Or you get out of the car and go to the bathroom.
And then you were out of the contest?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And sometimes they didn't
I would
wake
never
us up
last
to go.
in a contest like that. Okay, so the end of the week came, and it's on Sunday, and the three of you were left in your car?
Right, correct. The other car, they had already designated a winner.
So, drew straws.
Correct.
And you picked?
It was actually numbered straws, and they had corresponding numbered envelopes that had keys in the envelopes. And I picked a straw with the number 2 on it and the envelope number 2, and they said whatever key started the car, that person was to win the car.
And you won?
Yes.
So now tell me about this contract that you allege you had with her. Because it's clear that she decided not to sell the car, she decided to keep the car, friendship's over, she said, I'm not selling the car and I'm not giving any money.
Correct.
Now tell me your version of the contract that you had with her.
Okay, simply while we were sitting in the car, her and I discussed that we would sell the car and split the money from the car. And in the process, we would also win tickets to see NSYNC. One of us would get the tickets and we would split everything.
Okay, and did you get the NSYNC tickets?
Yes, I did.
And did you go with the defendant?
I did take the defendant to the concert.
So far, that's all right. Now tell me about your understanding of this agreement that you had with her.
As far as the agreement goes, when we got in the car together, she had mentioned something about if either one of us wins the car, let's sell it and split the money. And I had said, I don't want to agree to anything just yet. I don't know what the outcome of the contest is. So I can't say yes or no. I don't want to say yes or no because I don't know if I'm even going to win. I don't know if you're even going to win.
And this was a conversation that you said you had as soon as you got into the car?
It wasn't directly right when we got in the car, but it
within a day or so?
The first day.
Within the first day? And you stayed in the car together for 5-6 days?
Nothing else was ever mentioned.
And did you speak to each other?
Yeah.
Friendly, laughing? Then I don't believe you. And I'm going to tell you why I don't believe you.
Okay.
If she's your friend, and what she's saying is absolutely right, the two of you being in this contest certainly increased your chances of winning.
Right.
You got much better odds with the two of you deciding that whoever wins, it's going to be like a joint winning.
Right. Except that the whole reason I was doing this was because I was in some financial problems, and if I were to win the car, I wanted to use that to help
And what if you lost everything? You think that if you lost everything, you would take the same position as you're taking now? No, you wouldn't.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Deborah Siegfried says former friend Deanna McGeorge refuses to share a car they won in a radio contest. Deanna says they only agreed to share another prize, tickets to an NSYNC concert.
So you had financial problems, but you made an agreement with her. And the agreement was that if either of you won this contest, you were going to share the prize money. And how could you not?
That agreement.
Yes, you did. Sure you did. You may have put it in the back of your mind, forgot about it, said, it's not really what I meant. I said I would sell the car, but now I'm not going to sell the car because I really want the car. I'm going to keep the car, so where am I going to get money to give you? And forget it, and the friendship is over. It's really outrageous, Miss McGeorge. How long had you been
Well, that
friends?
wasn't exactly how it happened. We had been friends up way after the contest, and I had explained to her that I wasn't going to sell the car, and she was fine with that. Nothing was ever mentioned from the contest from the time of, I would say, April until about September. September is when she started all this.
Why?
Because we had gone on vacation in August together, and we both had some mishaps. We got in an argument, and when we got back, I hadn't called her for a couple days, and she left me a message on my voicemail, which I thought was very rude, and I didn't want to call her back. I was just wanting to take some time away from her because we had been in arguments, and I decided that I wasn't going to call her back.
Had you discussed between the time that you won this contest and the time you went on vacation what you were going to do with the car?
When I actually received the car in April, I had told her that I decided I was going to keep the car.
And what did she say to you at that point?
She really didn't say anything. We were in the gym, and she walked out on me.
She was angry.
Yeah, I understand.
She was
that.
angry.
I understand that.
Well, I just want to make sure that that's clear, that that was not, at least as far as she was concerned, her understanding.
Right.
You said to her, I decided to keep it. Bye. So she was angry. Another thing, did you win the concert tickets to NSYNC as a sort of a second prize?
I was given concert tickets to see NSYNC and also some tickets to another group.
How many tickets were you given to NSYNC?
At the time, they were only going to give me 2, but she had asked me if I could please ask the gentleman to get us 2 more because we had planned
I didn't
on...
ask her to.
I had asked on... We had planned on taking her niece and her niece's friend to the concert as well, so she thought that if I asked him for 4, he might give us 4, and then all 4 of us could go together.
But if you hadn't gotten the 4, and if you just got the 2, who was supposed to go?
It would be Deanna and myself.
And you, in fact, went?
Yes, we did.
So you split that prize money?
Yes, I did.
You owe that prize, whatever it was?
Correct.
Isn't that registering with you?
Yeah.
Huh?
That registers just completely fine with me.
You're better off without her. You got it? Not an honorable person. What kind of car did you win?
It was a Kia Rio.
You have the value?
Yes, I do. I have 3 invoices.
Can I see it, please?
You wouldn't do that to me, would you?
I sure wouldn't. You wouldn't do that to me, would you?
No, never.
Huh? The lawsuit is for $5,000, which is maximum allowed in this court. Correct. Clearly half of the value of the car. Were there any things that you had to pay for on the car? Did you have to pay any taxes on the car?
Yes, I had.
What kind of taxes did you have to pay?
The tax, title, and license.
Other than that, you have to pay income tax on winning.
Yeah, we haven't received anything yet because it comes at the end of the year. It's a winning a prize tax.
You know how much it is?
I'm not exactly sure how much it is.
Do you work?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
Customer service, retail.
How much do you earn?
Approximately $10 an hour.
A year?
About $20,000.
So you're probably in the 15% bracket, is that right?
That'd be about right.
Even deducting for the taxes that you would have to pay and that she would have to pay on these winnings and the tags and everything else, it's still in excess of the $5,000, which is the limit of this court, and I'm awarding you $5,000. You have to be an honorable person, that's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And they step out.
I feel that Judge Judy was very fair, and she took the time to listen to what I had to say, and I think she truly understood the facts of the case.
I think it's completely wrong that she should be getting $5,000.
I truly never wanted our friendship to end. I can't speak on Deanna's half, but I never wanted it to come to this.
It was never a complete agreement. We never agreed on anything at all.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Keck versus Soleil, step forward, please.
Bookkeeper Barbara Keck is suing her daughter's friend, 19-year-old receptionist Amanda Soleil, for causing her car to be towed and impounded.
Miss Keck, the defendant was living with your family.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your daughter?
Yes, it is.
I assume she was a friend of your daughter's?
Yes.
You allowed her to use one of your cars. It was an older car. She had run into some transportation problems. She relied on her boyfriend, according to your complaint, for transportation. I assume this is boyfriend Jeff.
Yes.
Hi.
Right? And at some point, after a period of time, the car broke down.
Yes.
The car broke down at Jeff's place of employment.
Right.
The car was subsequently towed and impounded. You had considerable fees to get the car out of tow, and you believe that the defendant should be responsible for paying those fees.
Yes, I did.
She says the car was a piece of junk, basically.
I don't have a problem with that.
When did she come to live with your family?
I think it was in May, either early or latter part.
Why?
I understand that she and her mother weren't getting along, and her mother had asked her, just go on and live somewhere else.
What would make you take her into your house?
She's my daughter's friend and had been since senior in high school. They're both in college now. And she'd been over to the house and dinners and, proms and all that. So we were all good friends.
Did you charge her any rent?
No.
When did you give her the car to use?
Maybe early August.
Tell me about that.
She and Jeff were in a traffic accident, which totaled his truck. So, after they came over and they were at dinner at our house, I think, talking about things, and I said, well, how are you going to get around? And so we just decided, well, shoot, we've got this Mazda, we'll let her use it.
Now, You tell me what happened with the car and when.
After she gave it to use it, it was September 6th, and I was dropping Jeff off at work.
So we'd used it for a while. You'd
Yeah.
used it for about a month.
For about a month, yes. And I dropped him off at work that morning, and as I was saying goodbye, it just died. And which is normal because the whole time I used it, it would stop at stoplights, just like she said. And this time it just died. I couldn't get it to click over or anything, so we pushed it back into a parking spot, and I said to him, well, I'm going to have a car anyway, so we might as well go buy a car now. So he used a company truck, took me home. I called in sick to work, and then I went to buy a car. And after I bought the car, I came home that day. It was about 4 o'clock, and I told Barbara, I said, Barbara, come look at what I bought. So I came out to the driveway, and I said, I bought a car. And she goes, well, what prompted you to do this? And I said, well, your car broke down today on the way taking Jeff to work. And she said, oh. I said, well, I left it at Jeff's work. And then she said that she would talk to her husband, Bernard, about it, and they would discuss what we would do about it when he comes home the next day.
I'm not ready for you yet.
Oh, okay.
And did you have another discussion with Barbara?
During the period of the next week, it just kind of came up off and on. Nobody really said anything. I worked full-time, and we never sat down and totally discussed it.
Well, instead of going and buying a new truck that day, why didn't you call a tow truck and
Because
have the car, and have the car towed back home?
Like, I've never had a car towed on me before, and I really didn't know what to do.
Well, you knew enough to go and buy a car. You have to fill out forms, you have to take it to be registered, you have to go to motor vehicles, you have to get insurance, right? And to get a car towed, you have to pick up the phone and look in the yellow pages and find towing and call and say, come pick up the car and would you please bring it back to my residence? Now, which one seems harder to you?
Probably buying the car.
Right. And the towing fees were $455.
Right.
Well, you explained to me, young lady, why you don't think you are responsible for that.
Well, I feel that because I feel because the car was in her name, and the day that it broke down, I did come home and I did let her know.
After you bought a new car?
Yeah. Well, at the time, that seemed like the right thing to do to me. I don't.
No, it seemed like the selfish thing to do.
Buying the car was my idea.
Excuse me?
Buying the car was my idea. I had the money saved up, and I just said, you know.
Is anybody talking to him? Are you still living at her house?
No.
You lived there for how long?
From June until early September.
3 months she didn't charge you any rent?
Right.
Not $50 a month, not $100 a month. I assume you ate breakfast there. You said you had some dinners there. Jeff came over and ate there. Did she charge you when Jeff came over and ate dinner?
No, she didn't.
Nice lady. And let you have a car. There's no issue. Where's the issue? Why are we here? It was your responsibility to bring the car home and say, now I've fulfilled my responsibility. It was given to me in the driveway. I've returned it to the driveway. You got it? And if he thinks that that's wrong, oh, I'm dying to hear from him.
You're dying. Okay.
Stand up!
She said, okay, when she gave us that car, it breaks down at stoplights. If you crash it, I don't care. Just don't get it stolen. The insurance doesn't cover that. If it breaks down, leave it. If it does this, does that, leave it. I don't care. The car's garbage. It's an 83 or 86, doesn't matter. It's got over 200,000
Sit down. This lady was very nice to you. Mr. Responsibility over here doesn't get it together as much as he should. You know, he doesn't understand that as an adult you have certain responsibilities. You should understand that. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $485. That's all.
2 and 560. One is Irwin versus Cuddy, large, and the other one is a cross complaint, Cuddy versus Irwin. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. and Mrs. Irwin, I'm going to address your claim first, and then I will address the claim by one of the defendants, Mr. Cuddy. According to your complaint, you hired these two young men to do some work in your house while you were gone on some sort of vacation or business trip. And they were given a whole list of things to do. They had access to your home. And it is your claim that they threw a major party while they were there, and that as a result of that, your home was invaded, a large group of people, that some things were destroyed or damaged, and a substantial amount of money stolen. And you're suing both of these young men for $5,000.
Correct.
The defendant said it was no big deal party, just a few friends, nobody went into the house. And Mr. Cuddy has a cross complaint, which I will get to in a moment. Who's Mr. Cuddy?
Would be me.
That's you. All right, how did you know these two young men?
Rick Large had worked for us, done some work for our business for about a year.
What kind of business?
A computer business. And Mr. Cuddy, my husband had known him for probably about 12 years, and I'd known him about 6 years. And he was also a neighbor of ours.
And you gave both these young men access to your home?
Actually, Rick Large was the one that was hired to come in and feed the dogs, check emails, pick up mail, pick up the newspaper, and do a few chores around the house, and we paid him $300 for the week to do that.
You only paid Mr. Large?
Correct.
Okay, were they supposed to stay in the house?
No.
Okay, and what did you find when you came home?
When we first they came to pick us up at the airport, and they were supposed to come in our truck, but they came in Mr. Cuddy's mother's truck because they said they couldn't find the keys to the vehicle, which also has our home key on it and a speed pass. When we got home, we gave them T-shirts we'd bought for them, and they left, and we were home for a few minutes, and our doorbell rang. And our neighbor came over and was very upset and said that while we were gone...
Can't tell me what your neighbor said.
Oh, okay. Well, we started looking around and noticed things that were moved, found a disc jockey card on my table in my family room, found broken beer bottle and beer still on the floor in the family room.
A broken beer bottle?
Mm-hmm. We went to open our garbage compactor, and it was jammed. When we finally were able to pry it open, there was the remains of grapefruit rinds, a big vodka bottle that had been jammed in there. When we went upstairs that night to go to bed, we could tell that our guest room and our room both had been remade. The bedding had been remade. And my husband went over to his side of the bed and saw on the floor a grungy-looking T-shirt wrapped around a rag that was left there. At that point, we did call the guys to come back after we found out about the party and confronted them that night. Their response was, "It's no big deal. We had a few friends over. What's the problem?" The next day, we found the money was missing. We found...
What money?
In the drawer in my desk upstairs. We keep money in a... bank bag. But as we started going through the house, like I said, we started finding more and more things that had been destroyed. On the nightstand in our bedroom, there's a watermark, which I do have a picture of that.
Tell me about this party, gentlemen. Look.
Well, Your Honor...
I want you to look at me,
no,
and I want you to make
apologize.
sure of one thing.
Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
I want you to tell me about the party. Everything about the party.
Okay.
I want you to just realize it. The truth will set you free. Don't try to scam me with you had a couple of friends over for a little barbecue in the backyard. I want to know how many people were there, inside or outside. How many invited, how many uninvited. How many just showed up.
How many people showed up? Approximately on Friday night, we had about 40 people show up.
Okay, so you had about 40. And how many people had you in... Big I read your papers, so, but you know, I've had teenagers, so I know.
I understand.
Okay, good. So you had about 40.
Your Honor?
Could there have been 50?
It's a possibility, yes, but it's not
So
likely.
there could have been 50. How many did you invite?
I personally didn't invite anybody to the party.
Who did?
That would have been Rick.
How many did you invite to the party?
3 or 4 people.
Shh. So you invited 3 or 4 and 40 or 50 or so showed up. Did you call the police?
No.
Why not?
Because everybody was having a good time
We were very responsible, kept the house locked at all times. Everybody was strictly in the backyard only.
Well,
and I didn't want to ruin a good time.
Well,
Judge,
Mr.
the police were called.
Just a second. Mr. Large, you know that your conduct was unacceptable. You had a party, you had alcohol at the party? Speak.
Yes.
Who purchased the alcohol?
I purchased some of the alcohol.
All right. How much beer did you purchase, sir?
I didn't purchase beer. I purchased a bottle of gin.
Yes.
And that was it.
You mean that 40 or 50 people survived for an evening of revelry on one bottle of gin?
No, actually, people brought their own alcohol.
Really? So they were smart enough to come and bring their own stuff. Now, so you want to tell me how many hours this party lasted?
I don't know, about 8.
All right. So are you telling me, sir, that in an 8-hour party where everybody was drinking, nobody had to use a bathroom?
No, actually, they did, and I instructed them they weren't to go in the house.
So where did they use a bathroom? Where did they go potty?
I told them that they needed to go to a McDonald's down the street or somewhere down the street.
Sure.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Diana and Stephen Irwin claim former friends T.J. Cuddy and Rick Large were hired to look after their home. The Irwins say the boys threw a wild party and trashed their house.
So who slept in the beds?
Nobody slept in. I slept in a guest room on the guest room bed.
Well, is that part of your agreement?
Well,
that you were supposed to stay in the house?
They let me. I actually live with the Irwins. They told me they treated me like a son. They had welcomed me everywhere. You know, they said, "You're welcome."
Was it your arrangement on this weekend that you were to stay in the house?
No.
Miss Irwin.
Yes.
Let me make myself clear. We are not going to entertain your missed money.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because it doesn't sound logical to me that somebody goes away and leaves 2 young men with access to their home and leaves what you claim was $8,000 in cash in your top desk drawer. Doesn't sound kosher to me. So I'm going to entertain your claim of whatever damage was done in your house, because I believe that both of these young men are absolutely responsible for that. Because if they invited 3 or 4 people and 50 people showed up, the first thing that you do if you are responsible is you get on the phone, you call the police, and you say there are people trespassing on this property and I want them removed. They chose not to do that because, according to Mr. Lodge, they were all having a good time in this party that lasted 8 hours. To me, a party lasts 4 hours and then your company goes home and that's it. So, tell me exactly what was damaged, how much it's going to cost to fix it, because that they are responsible for.
Well, I did want to say that the police were called 2 nights.
It was a long party. It's a long party.
Well, and
you know that you don't leave teenage boys in your house, 19, 20, 21 years old, in your house and say, the house is now empty. Because you know what happens? The word gets out into the street. Party! And everybody comes.
They did note that they had planned the party well before we were out of town even.
Right. And how did they do that? Did they do that
Right.
by hiring, according to what I read in your complaint, a disc jockey?
Yes.
Was that disc jockey hired 3 weeks in advance?
No, ma'am.
When?
We called the disc jockey 2 hours before a party.
2 hours before the 3 or 4 people that you had invited arrived?
He was one of those.
Huh?
He was the person.
2 hours before the 3 or 4 people that you were having over for an intimate barbecue in the backyard arrived, you called a disc jockey.
Well, Your Honor, the disc jockey was a personal friend of Rick's, and when he called his friend, the DJ, he was at another party, and instead of keeping that party there, he decided to bring it with him. That's how all those people ended up at the Irwin's house.
They get put off the premises by the police.
Yeah. We understand that what we did was wrong. That
Perfect.
night,
So then let's get to it. How much damage was caused?
Well, we had to have the house rekeyed because we found that the...
You're absolutely right. Rekeyed. How much? Let me just get out my little calculator.
75.75.
75.75.
The
What else?
car had to be rekeyed, 96.54. No, on the table, I don't know how, or the nightstand, I don't know. I haven't gotten a quote on how much it will cost to fix the ring that's on there.
Do you have a picture of it for me to look at?
Yes, I do.
That's not a major deal. Do you have children?
Yes.
How old are your children?
25 and 27.
Ever left your children alone over the weekend and had a group of people over there that you didn't invite?
Yes, but they're much more responsible than that.
But it's happened. I know, I have kids.
But I think
I've had large parties, unanticipated parties at my house.
But I think the difference is it's my children and it's their home. And
that's why you trust your children. You don't trust strangers. You don't give strangers, teenagers, and those just above teen. How old are you?
I'm 24, but they always told me they treated me like a son.
Don't give me baloney.
Okay.
If they treated you like a son and you treated them like a parent, you would have been more careful with their property. Now let's get to Mr. Cuddy. Mr. Cuddy, according to your complaint, Mr. and Mrs. Irwin were very nice to you. You wanted a motorcycle.
Yes.
And Mr. Irwin agreed to advance you some money for the motorcycle.
Yes, he agreed to be the lien holder on the title.
Right. According to what I read, it was $5,000. Is that right?
For $4,800 in these.
So almost $5,000. You put in $1,000 and he paid $4,000. Is that right?
That's correct.
And then he repossessed the motorcycle.
That's correct.
And you want the money that you put down on the
That's
motorcycle. That's your claim. Where is the motorcycle now?
It is in storage.
And the title is in your name?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, then you have to return to him $1,009.46.
But, Your Honor.
Yes.
I'm stuck with a bike, and I have a consignment agreement from the dealer that shows that clearly that the value of the bike now, I'm going to take a loss.
Listen to me. If there's bad business on your part, but I can understand Mr. Cuddy. He put in $1,009.46. He had an agreement with you. It was a verbal agreement that you were going to be the lien holder on the bike and he was going to pay for it. You cannot keep that bike and not give him back his $1,000. You can't do it. So on your counterclaim, Mr. Cuddy, I am awarding you the $1,009.46. On your claim, Mr. and Mrs. Irwin, for these boys doing damage to your home, you are entitled to $197.29 with the admonition to you, keep strangers out of your house and don't give them access to your house because it's always trouble. And with the admonition to you, Mr. Lodge, that if you say to me that these people treated you like you were a child of theirs, one of theirs, and was very good to you, you certainly didn't respect them nor their property in a way that I would like one of my children to behave. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Their house looked better when we left than when we got there.
The reality was it was 2 nights of parties and a barbecue.
He said that the next time Diana went out of town, he wanted us to throw a party again and invite him.
It's closure. That's what purpose of coming.
He's a shady guy. I mean, he's really a slime ball.
Hopefully we can all move on with our lives and just go forward.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Clem versus Randolph. Step forward, please.
31-year-old home siding installer Mike Clem is suing his fiance's brother, 17-year-old James Randolph, for kicking his car in a fit of rage. James says he became upset when Mike refused to give him a ride to work.
Mr. Clem, the defendant is your soon-to-be brother-in-law,
Yes, Your Honor.
and he damaged your car
Yes, ma'am.
in a fit of anger,
Yes, Your Honor.
and you want him to pay for it.
Yes.
You acknowledge, sir, that you damaged this car, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, tell me why you did that, and when you did that, and why you shouldn't be responsible for paying for it.
Well, at the time I was extremely angry.
What were you angry at?
We got in a little fight because I was supposed to go to work that day. He said he would, and then
He would what?
He would take me to work.
At what time was this?
It was maybe around 11:30ish.
So at 11:30 you asked him, and he said he could, and then what happened?
It was around 1 o'clock or so. He said he started walking out the door, and I asked him again. Then he said he wasn't going to take me anywhere.
Did he say why?
He said he was going the opposite way.
So what did you do?
I got mad and I went back in the house.
Tell me about his car.
Well, after I went in the house, he came inside and he started yelling at me. My mother...
What was he yelling?
He was just saying, "You jerk," and things like that.
Why? Had you said anything nasty to him?
At the time, I didn't know.
Go ahead.
So then he kept on, saying the same things. My mom tried to get him, to sit down and everything and just calm down. He pushed my mother out of the way, and then I got extremely mad. And then we both ended up actually getting in a fist fight.
We haven't gotten to the car yet.
Well, after that, after he left, I was very angry. I had to do something. He pushed Mom out of the way. So I went up to the car and
Which car?
This car is up on blocks.
And what'd you do?
No, I just kicked it because I was so mad.
I would like you to tell me your version of what happened. At 11:30, he asked you to take him to work?
No, ma'am.
Tell me what happened.
It was about 11 o'clock that morning. Him and his sister, my fiance, Stacy, went into town and to the store and some other odd and ends. At that point, he told her, I got to be at work at 12 noon. And to the best of my knowledge, she never agreed to take him. So when she got back with my truck, I had to go to work that day, which was on a Sunday, but I had to be at work. So he asked me, he said, can you take me to work? He said, you got to take me. I said, Keith, I said, no, I don't. I said, it's out of my way, and I said, I got to go to work. Well, he went back in the house. He slammed my door. Then he came back out when Stacy exited my house. She went to work with me that day and said something to her, and she said, Keith, she said, I can't take you. I'm going with Mike. Well, he got mad and went back into my house, slammed my door a second time. Well, then at that point in time, that's when I entered my house. And we got into a little screaming match. There was punches thrown, but there really was no connection to him. His mother did get in the middle of it, try to break it up. But to the best of my knowledge, and I mean, you may ask Stacy, she did not get pushed or hit.
Okay. Now, when did you notice any damage to your car?
It was the following day. I was out in the yard with Stacy and my uncle, and I happened to look in my yard and I seen a big dent in my quarter panel. And when I went up to look at it, me and my uncle, you could visibly see a footprint.
Fine. So now, Mr. Randolph, I'd like you to tell me why you are not responsible for the damage.
Well, as I told you before about my mom...
I don't care about your mom. That doesn't give you license to go out and hurt his car. What's next?
But the thing is, I was so angry, and the car is old, it's on blocks, there's a bunch of trash inside of it.
Is that your defense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can I see the pictures of the car and the estimate for the repair, please?
Yes, ma'am. And you can visibly see there is tires on the car, wheels and tires. At one time, there was a back tire off, and that was for us trying to push the dent out, and it would not come out.
How many times did you kick the car, sir?
4 times on each side.
And nasty. Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,490. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's excused. Ms. Stephens versus Roderick. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Gaines, it is your claim that the defendant filed false assault charges against you after an incident that I can only describe as road rage. You want to tell me what started this incident and when it happened?
Okay. I was on my lunch break.
What date?
It was on December 19th.
2001?
2000.
Okay. Go ahead.
What happened was Donna had ran a red light.
You didn't know her before?
No, I didn't. I didn't know her. She had ran a red light, cut across me. I looked over, and then she flipped me off. And then we started fussing back and forth. She had a phone. She had her cell phone on her.
So she was in front of you?
She was on the right side of me at that point.
So she was on the right side of you on her cell phone?
Correct.
Go ahead.
She started, at that point, she started coming across the line, over like she was trying to hit me. And I didn't know what was going on. So I moved out of her way to prevent an accident. Also, I noticed she had her kid in the car, in the back seat. So, you know, I'm trying to get out the way to avoid an accident. She pulled over at the same time.
Behind you or in front of you?
Behind me.
And she got out of her car?
Correct.
And then what happened?
Okay, at that point, I felt she had a kid in a car. She was endangering my life. She was endangering her kid's life. As a citizen, I went over there and asked, what is your problem? You're driving recklessly. You need to watch what you're doing. And
Is that what you said to her? Just that way?
Correct, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And I left. I got back in my car. I didn't run. I got back in my car, and I proceeded back to work.
What happened next?
Okay. What happened, the vehicle was not registered to me. It was my roommate's father's vehicle. And of course, it has a distinguished license plate. It had a name on there. So apparently, I guess, Donna had filed a false report, which I have the report here.
Can I see the report, please?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. Donna had filed a false report, and apparently the detective was trying to find out who the vehicle belonged to. He called...
Ultimately, you were arrested?
No, I was not arrested. Ultimately, I was charged.
Ultimately, the charges were dismissed. Is that right?
Correct.
And you are suing her for your attorney's fees, lost wages, and everything else
Correct.
for filing this false police report. Okay. Now I'll hear your version of the events, Ms. Roderick.
Okay, Your Honor. First of all, I did not run a red light because where I pulled out of, there was no red light. It was a stop sign. It was a side road. I was coming out from my house. I was making a left-hand turn, just like as I should have made a left-hand turn, and all of a sudden, I hear honking in the back of me.
That's incorrect.
I don't want you to interrupt her.
Okay.
I heard honking in the back of me. I'd had my 3-year-old son with me. I was in the left lane and she was behind me honking. I then pulled to the right lane to let her pass because she was obviously aggravated, honking her horn.
Don't interrupt her. You're interrupting.
Okay.
I moved into the right lane to let her pass. I figured she was in a hurry, you know. And then she didn't pass me. She stayed next to my car, and she was the one flipping me off. I couldn't hear what she was saying, but it was obvious that what she was saying was foul language, flipping me off. She then tried to put her car into my lane. I then slowed down. She then proceeded, she got in front of me, and this is while traffic is moving along us. She slowed down, and then she stopped her car in the middle of traffic, in the middle of the lane. She stopped in front of me. I couldn't pull to the side of the road because there's a sidewalk, there's no space to pull over. She then rushed out of her car. I had my cell phone because I was going to call the police. She came rushing out of her car towards my car. I have my 3-year-old son in the car. I got out of my car because I didn't know at this point she'd tried to run me off of the road. I thought she was crazy already at this point. I got out of the car. I told her that she needed to get back in the car. I was going to call the police.
If you were afraid of me, why didn't you drive off?
I don't talk.
Ms. Gaines,
because you were
with a phone.
You were in front of,
she
was in front of me.
Don't answer her. This is interesting.
She was in front of me, or I would have gotten away from her.
There is
Don't
a
respond
reverse
to
on
her.
your car.
You're demonstrating that you have a bad temper.
Okay.
So you're not helping yourself.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, I understand.
Good. So now you're up to the point where you have your cell phone and you're going to call the police.
Yes, and I told her if she, and we were in the middle of the street, traffic was going by, we were both in danger, and I was worried about my 3-year-old son in the car because we were right in the lane. I told her if she did not get back in her car and get going, I was going to call the police. She was in my face, threatening me, you don't know who you're messing with. And I attempted to call the police. She then tried to grab my cell phone from me.
How did she do that?
Well, she went to grab it, but it wasn't, I didn't let go of it. I pulled it back.
Okay.
At this point, she was then screaming. She grabbed me by the hair, pulled my hair, still cussing at me, and then she hit me in the forehead At this point, I was scared. My son was crying. He was very upset. She got in her car and took off. I was very shaken. And I kept going. I pulled over when I could. And I'm on the phone trying to dial the police to let them know I'd just been assaulted. And I'm talking to the police, and I see a lady on this pulled over on the side of the road. She's waving at me, come here. And I then pulled up to this lady, and she asked me, "Are you okay? I saw everything. I got her license plate number for you," because it happened so quick. I was just stressed out. I was nervous. Luckily, the witness that I didn't know, she had saw everything. She gave me the license plate number. She was running late for an appointment, but she did leave her phone number for me in case she needed to be a witness in this.
You have a police report?
Yes, I do.
May I see it, please?
May I say something else later, Your Honor?
Mm-hmm. Well, this totally independent witness who did stop to give the defendant her name, her telephone number, was very clear in the statement that she gave to the police. The police interviewed her via telephone. She indicated that she saw you get out of the front of your car, which was pulled in front of hers, and the two of you began to argue. Then you, who had gotten out of the front car, hit the other female in the face with her hand, and then you ran back to your car and fled the scene.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Valerie Gaines says she was arrested when Donna Roderick filed a false report with police. Donna says Valerie attacked her in a fit of road rage.
So here we have a witness who clearly says she observed you do, Ms. Gaines, exactly what the defendant said that you did, which was to assault her. Just a second, I have some questions. Oh, you want to tell me something? I'll hear you. Then I'll ask you my questions.
Okay. I saw a lady or a person that was in a vehicle about 3 light poles away. In the statement, it should have showed, because I believe it's on there, she was looking through her rearview mirror.
So what?
We were parallel to her. She could not even see my back.
Don't tell me what you couldn't see. That's what you told the police.
Okay.
That's what you put in the police report.
Okay.
Can't tell me what you could or could not see.
And if I hit her, did she make a downward movement? Because if I would have hit her, she wouldn't have stayed in her standing
Ms. Gaines,
upright.
I don't know what you would have done, what you could have done when you hit her, Ms.
Right.
Gaines.
Correct.
So now I have a few
I did
questions
not.
for you.
Okay.
When were you supposed to go to trial on this case?
Okay.
The first date?
The first day I was supposed to go, I guess, January 24th.
Oh.
I did not know because...
Just a second.
Okay.
Did you retain an attorney?
I retained an attorney after I had went through 2 different... I went to court. Yeah, 2 times I had to go to court. And then at that time, I decided to obtain a lawyer.
Just 1 second. You went to court once, and you asked for an adjournment to get a lawyer. Don't play, I don't understand you, Judge Judy. You asked for an adjournment to get a lawyer, and then you came back to court, and you didn't have a lawyer. So you asked for another postponement to get a lawyer?
No.
Well, what did you go to court twice for, Ms. Gaines?
Okay. The first time I had to go to court, there was a bench warrant placed on me.
So now you got a bench warrant and you appear. Okay.
Correct.
So you appear. And what happened when you appeared? What did the judge tell you?
I can't remember exactly.
Judge
at this
tell you
time.
that you should get a lawyer.
Well, yes.
Okay. Now, then you went back to court the second time. Did you come back to court the second time with or without a lawyer?
No, I did not.
What do you mean, no, you did not? I don't understand what that means.
This
You did
was
not come back with a lawyer.
I felt that it was a frivolous case, and I was
Pay
hoping
attention
that
to my question.
Yes.
You were
No, I
told to
didn't.
come back with a lawyer, and you did not come back with a lawyer.
No, I did not.
And then the judge said to you, I told you to come back with a lawyer. I'm going to postpone the case again and come back with a lawyer. Correct?
At that time, I thought we were going to go to trial, and I was not going to have a lawyer, but then we had to go further, because I thought we were going to dismiss the case. I was trying to get the case dismissed because I felt it was a frivolous case.
So then you got a lawyer.
And they wanted to pursue it. Then I did get a lawyer.
And when you came to court with a lawyer, on the third occasion, did you go to trial?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yes.
Very interesting. So the first time the lawyer appeared in court, you were ready to go to trial?
Correct.
But there was no trial?
No.
There was no trial because?
It got postponed because
it got postponed. Why?
The judge postponed it because of time.
Counsel did, Your Honor.
The time, the judge,
counsel
the
did.
judge proposed.
How many times did the witness, Miss Roderick, appear in court?
I'm
speaking. How many times did this witness appear for you, this witness who had nothing to do with this incident, wasn't your friend, wasn't your sister, wasn't your mother, wasn't anybody else? How many times did this person take time off from work or other business to come to court to testify on your behalf?
I believe it was 3 times.
Okay. And on those 3 occasions, she did not get to testify, is that right?
No, she didn't. It was continued again.
Right. That's what defense lawyers do. They continue. Put your hand down. They continue cases because what they do is they figure they're going to wear down a witness. And eventually, this good Samaritan witness is going to get fed up with taking time off from work to come to testify at this trial.
I believe that's exactly what happened.
Well, I don't know whether it's exactly what happened or not, but it's probably pretty close. In any event, Ms. Gaines, you have absolutely no civil case against the defendant.
Excuse me, Your Honor?
Absolutely none. I have to believe that she made up this story. Now, perhaps if it were just the 2 of you, I would have a much easier time in believing that she just made up this story out of spite. However, the police interviewed a totally independent witness who appeared in court, maybe not 3 occasions, maybe 2 occasions, when either you or your lawyer requested a continuance and was prepared to testify consistent with her statement to the police, which was that she saw you hit her. Go ahead.
Excuse me. Okay. I would like to say that it was not my lawyer that kept continuing the case. It was the judge, because there was so much time that was being delayed by other cases.
Fine. It was the judge. It was the judge who continued the case.
Okay. And the main thing was I was found not guilty.
No, you weren't. You never went to trial.
I did go to trial. I was found not guilty. Here's a deposition. I was found not guilty.
So you did go to trial with just the 2 of you testifying,
yes, and
but
we
not the witness.
testified.
Exactly. The witness had missed work enough.
Okay.
I missed work too. Also, I have stress.
Cares? You hit her.
I missed stress. I did not hit her.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I did not hit this woman.
Yes, you did.
I did not touch her. I don't know what her problem is.
I just
Listen, Miss Roderick, I am not prepared to say, based upon what I have read today, you were not found innocent. You were not found innocent.
That disposition says I was found not guilty.
That's what it says. There is a difference between innocent and not guilty. The not guilty says that the district attorney took the case to trial because the district attorney felt that there was sufficient evidence to go to trial. And after trial, either the court or if there was a jury found that the district attorney had not sustained their burden beyond a reasonable doubt, which is clearly not the standard of proof in a civil trial. Civil trial, in this trial, the quantum of proof is a preponderance of evidence, which is more evidence than not.
Okay.
Clearly, the police had absolute justification for issuing a bench warrant for you. There is an independent witness who unfortunately didn't show up for the 3rd time for trial, who told the police that she saw you hit her. So you have no case, Miss Gaines.
How far away
Your case
was
is
she?
dismissed.
How far
I have no
away?
idea. She's not here.
What?
That's all.
Oh, I'm railroaded. I've been railroaded. I can't believe this.
I'm glad that Judge Judy was able to see through her.
I've lost a lot of money.
I did the right thing by calling the cops.
This is BS.
If she needs to say that to make people think that's what it was, that's fine.
I did not touch her.
All I know is she did put her hands on me.
I got a lawyer to fight my case. and this is all BS.
I don't know why it escalated. Maybe she was having a bad day.
I'm telling you, I didn't touch her.
She's irate right now, screaming and yelling.
Telling you, this whole thing is BS. I should have just went on my own.
That's on her. I don't really, that just shows how ignorant she is.
This whole thing is BS.
Look at her attitude now. She didn't touch me though.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Phillips versus Crane. Step forward.
21-year-old car service writer Billy Phillips is suing his ex-girlfriend, 21-year-old receptionist Emily Crane, for a down payment on a car. Emily says Billy took the vehicle back.
Mr. Phillips, let me see if I understand your complaint.
Okay.
I really wasn't quite sure that I was reading it correctly.
Okay.
You and the defendant dated. She needed a car or wanted a car. You made the following agreement with her. You would purchase a car in your name.
Correct.
You put down the deposit, which was $1,000.
Correct.
And you were going to take care of the expenses on the car until she turned 21.
That is correct.
And when she turned 21, she would take over all of the payments and give you your $1,000.
Correct.
Before she turned 21, the two of you broke up.
Yes.
So after you broke up, you went and took back the car.
Correct.
Before she was 21.
Yes. In the beginning
Now
of...
you have possession of the car.
Correct.
And you want her to pay you the $1,000 deposit.
Correct.
Are you nuts? Mr. Phillips, your original agreement with her was she turns 21, she gives you back your $1,000, and she takes over the car payments. And when she's paid it off, you give her the pink slip to the car so that it's titled in her.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
What was the reason you took the car back before she turned 21?
Because the car was still in my name.
Oh, but that's not her fault.
I'm not saying it was, Your Honor. I just...
But you breached the agreement, sir.
So...
You breached the agreement. She didn't breach the agreement by not turning 21 earlier.
I'm not saying
she has to wait until she's 21. That's something beyond her control. You breached the agreement by taking the car back. Now, if she had turned 21 and she did not give you back your $1,000 and assumed the car payments, then you have a right to take the car back and say, you breached the agreement. You didn't give me back my $1,000, but you made it impossible for her to perform her agreement with you because you repossessed the car. Why do you think you're entitled to your $1,000?
Basically because that was the agreement we agreed on.
No, it wasn't. The agreement that you had, sir, was that she was going to give you the $1,000, pay off the car, and have a car. That was the agreement. She wasn't going to give you the $1,000 and pay off a car with you in possession of the car. She was going to have a car to drive around in. You took back the car before she turned 21. Am I getting through to you?
Yes, you are getting...
Perfect. Case dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may